Greetings! Once again, you find heroes that face the darkness. But first will come the dawn. Last we left our heroes. They had made camp briefly on their way to Vallaki, thought a place of safety beyond the reaches of Castle Ravenloft. But tell me, who would challenge reality itself, let alone dare the devil Strahd and all his evil works?
Sasha would dare, and he is ready to bring his charges to Vallaki, even though he is pretty sure that it is not a safe haven at all, and they will only find safety within the strength of their sword arm. But alas, there's only so much you can tell people what to do.
Pray tell,
Without magic anyway.
would Greila agree?
About them needing to defend themselves? Or, yeah, Greila thinks he phrased it a little harshly, but ultimately agrees with Sasha's assessment.
And what of Crack?
Sure. He agrees. Yeah. They need to defend themselves. You can't really express in too many words, though.
And how about Siguror?
Thought it was fine. It's better to be upfront about it than do, hey, you should, try drawing your weapon at once. It's like, no, don't fucking willingly try to kill yourself by doing nothing.
Undoubtedly, you will have more opportunities to do so.
I hope not.
More opportunities to draw and fight and perhaps survive.
Live to win till you die.
Though it is still a cold and howling night, with every inch of the darkness seeming to have a pulse and life of its own, you are able to rest unassaulted.
And this rest was 8 hours, correct?
It was indeed.
Would there be any bit of extra time to make sure? So in order for everyone to get 8 hours, we actually have to do 9 to compensate for the first person who rested.
Oh.
A total of 9.
Yeah.
I'm only being a stickler about the hours because that determines how much I can add to my spellbook.
A good reason to be.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's anything special that anybody else had concerning time taken.
No.
I guess while he's doing that, I can do I can just do the ritual in the morning instead of the night, due not knowing the next time we're going to.
So I'm going to take that time and add invisibility to my spellbook. Unfortunately, I don't have any money to add anything else. Otherwise, I'd have some time to add more. But that being said, invisibility will be added.
Alright.
That's self, correct?
No, I can target a person.
Out of curiosity, did Ismark was totally willing to share in the watch?
Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm not going to take a watch, so he can take my watch.
Okay, I was wondering.
I need full
you
sleep
guys
and also time
would
to...
have-
Well, I'm just
Accept-
saying a blind person
Also,
taking a
yeah.
watch would be kind of ridiculous.
You also don't know, though.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying out of character. It would
Yes,
be
out of character, it would be a foolish decision. Why are we putting Sasha on watch?
And when the morning comes, Ismark does ask, did any of you, in the night, see birds?
Did we? Or is that like a roll to...
They said something you think you might have. I mean, it's a little dark, so it's hard. Might have.
Possibly.
I just remembered the encounter earlier and was wondering. I am not as superstitious as others might be, but In this land, there's very little that can be easily trusted. Though your friends seem to think it a good omen of sorts.
Well, then let us hope that they do not roam in flocks then, I suppose.
I suppose. We should be getting closer to the threshold. Today we should pass through the gates. There are gates that lead to, among other things, the old Slavic woods and Vallaki, farther in that direction. We will also be passing by the pathway that leads towards Castle Ravenloft, though I should hope our passing will be brief.
We'll say nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing my book stuff, so I'm not even listening to him.
Do you need to be like on a sled being dragged while you're working?
No.
No.
Although that's part of the reason I wanted us to have a wagon, because I could have been working while everyone else. I'm gonna be in the wagon.
There's time for pause, but yes, that would be quite useful. Perhaps you can procure one later.
Okay, I'm gonna unprepare. Shit, that's hard. Let's undo false life for now and add invisibility.
I guess having the chance of not being hit at all kind of does.
Yeah, I'd rather just have invisibility and duck out. Also, I can use it to protect Irina. I can't do that with
False life.
false life.
You actually still can't be hit while invisible, though, actually.
Yeah, but it's harder.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
have
harder.
disadvantage.
And they have to know where you are.
Yeah, so.
So if you move,
Well,
push it out of luck.
you
Also, we
still
can
make
use it for
noise.
stealth. I can cast it on Crack when he's scouting, or it has uses. It's invisibility. It's classic. It's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then once I'm up and done doing my spell stuff, does anyone or do either of them attempt to pry into me doing my spell stuff at all? Like, do they look over? Because Siguror is looking around whenever I'm like redipping the pen. Siguror looks around real quick.
Siguror does bring to your attention towards the end that the young woman that you've taken as one of your charges, as you termed it before, is looking at you, but more in a curious way, or so you would suspect, because Siguror's notice is not eager or urgent.
How close is she? Like, can I say something to her? Or would I have to raise my voice?
She's within earshot. You can
Normal
say
talking
something.
distance. And I will say, have you ever seen one of these before?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Come here.
Yeah.
You hear her like reluctantly after that pause, like take a few steps.
I'll show her the spell book. I will say, do you know what this is? Is it a kind of spell book? Yes, it is. But more specifically, and I'll point at the writing. Do you know what the writing is?
Upon looking more specifically,
If she knows,
you do
Draconic.
detect her shift a little bit. Out of character, I believe you said like you write with a specific kind of red ink that might be a little.
Yes, it is. It is in
And thinking about
It's
that, you
part
recognize
dye,
the
part
shift.
blood.
You recognize the shift. She might be able to smell a little bit of it, but she doesn't say anything.
It doesn't
And she
smell.
answers, well, in spite of that, the shift is there. Which
Fair
may
enough.
be curious in and of itself.
Fair enough.
But she does respond calmly enough and says, no, I don't.
It is Draconic. The language of dragons. All magic is written in it.
Really?
Yes. They say that magic comes from the dragons. That they taught man. Although some say they taught the elves first, but I'm sure that was the elves who would say that.
Maybe.
It's very difficult to understand. I had to train a long time. Have you seen magic? Oh, sorry.
I would imagine magic is quite something, and even here, still very rare.
Have you seen someone cast magic before? You said a mage came through and attempted to fight Strahd.
Yes,
Yes.
I did see. It was something. The mage was a little erratic, but good-hearted. I have no idea what happened to him since then.
Well, if he attempted to face Strahd and failed, he might be one of them. Or he might merely be a corpse. I hope the second is true. For if the first is true, that means his power is now Strahd's. Do you believe Strahd to possess magic?
After seeing what happened at the church, it would be hard not to.
Yes. Out of character, did I see him cast a spell out there? Because I have Arcana.
Out of character, you didn't see him cast. It was more like all of a sudden,
Spirits
it's
everywhere.
night.
Fair,
All
fair
of a
enough.
sudden, spirits
So he
everywhere.
possesses some magic power, because Sasha's trying to suss out if he needs to know his enemy. So
Well,
he's trying to.
It does not take any kind of guesswork to tell he can work magic, because it was
Right.
at least
Right.
3 hours off from being
Okay,
night.
Fair enough. But I mean, it's possible for him to have innate magic abilities or studied magic. I mean, if he's really old, he might have studied magic anyway.
That will be a little more difficult to determine.
Yeah. Well, that's something Sasha's interested in, because he doesn't want to roll up in there, fight him, and get counterspelled and be like, why? Why?
That's why you throw out a field of dispel magic first, then cast.
Or anti-magic field, but I'm pretty sure an anti-magic field just benefits him, because he can still rip my head off.
Yeah.
I cannot do much with an anti-magic field.
Well, an ageless vampiric conqueror may very well be better suited to combat than Sasha. I can't really.
That happened in Order of the Stick. The
Eh.
super powerful wizard was dueling a dragon, and eventually the dragon won by just casting anti-magic field and be like, "You're useless. I'm still a dragon." And I was like, first off, that's tight. Second off, ow, that sucks.
That's
also totally true. A dragon with anti-magic field is fucked up.
you need a potion of Tentress transformation.
Yeah, I would need Tensor's transformation and like Storm Giant strength, and I might be able to put up a good fight in the anti-magic field. That is all besides the point. I will sing to Irina.
People with your wand.
Is there... This is kind of out of game knowledge. Well, okay.
Could it be? What do you think of?
So, she has a sword, right?
Yes.
If I had to guess, she's probably a fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes the most sense.
Okay,
Unless you have some experience that would say otherwise.
right.
Or rather, if Sasha has some experience
Is there a
that would say
way...
otherwise.
Not to sound like Hunter x Hunter or anything, but is there a way that I can use my Nen to determine if she has Nen? Sounding exactly like Hunter x Hunter. As a wizard, can I recognize like an aptitude
For...
magic? Because I think it'd be really cool if when she leveled up she took the Eldritch Knight subclass. And I'm willing to teach her magic.
To my knowledge, there's not a way to do that, but if you have, like, a creative way of testing it yourself,
Okay.
I would be more than down with you seeing if she has Nan.
Off
the top of my head, I-
yeah, I'll get a glass of water with
Yeah.
a leaf in it. And...
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a way.
Oh,
to
the leaf split. I don't remember which one that is. Is that a mission? I don't know.
Hmm.
But I know the leaf split is one of them.
Is that how they determine shit?
Yeah, you can determine what type of nuns someone has by they're like supposed to hold a glass of water and shoot their hockey.
There's some
not
kind
hockey,
of
that's-
test. You can look it up. I'm sure.
That's weird as
No,
hell.
hockey I think is One Piece. It's
Yeah,
that weird
it
key
is.
thing they do.
Oh,
Totally besides the point. And I will say, this, if Strahd possesses magic, it might be prudent for you to learn.
Do you really think such a thing would be possible?
I will point and I will say, well, the book is right here.
Oh,
If you wish,
She seems intrigued,
I could impart some of my
if
knowledge.
uncertain.
I will not lie to you, it will be difficult. And if you were to study from me, and is her brother around?
No, you haven't seen him in a bit.
I will lower my voice a little bit and I will say, depending on... Or actually, you know, I'll bring it up later.
As you were
Sasha
elaborating,
will-
there is a shout from farther off. Is everyone ready? It's her brother who she looks and she says, perhaps we should discuss later.
Yes. Think about it.
I will.
They're tucking everything away, I suppose.
Everything's packed up, and the group moves on. They walk through these somewhat lonely woods, even in the dimmed day, eventually coming to, among other things, a gate. It is much like the gate that greeted them when they first entered the land of Barothia. It is a high stone wall and two large stone figures holding axes, but with their hands at the tops of the handles.
Nice. Axes are cool.
They are well aged and have seen no small amount of scarring and weathering. However, it is before you cross through them that you pass a much more significant landmark. Specifically, a road. It is a road that you are not taking, and you know well that you will not take it.
The road past Ravenloft.
Yet even here, in the mountains, the forest and the fog
Unfortunately.
are inescapable.
Those are good though.
Ahead, there's a dirt road that splits in two, widening towards the east. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare.
Huh.
It is down that road that you need not have knowledge of the land, that you know, that you sense a dreadful presence, danger that pervades the land, but magnified by 50 times fold. And yet, maybe the road is still tempting. The enemy you seek is most certainly down that path, right here in front of you.
Yeah, no.
I'm not ready yet. Sasha.
It is very tempting.
Sasha's.
For an idiot.
An
He
excellent
needs to die.
As
An
much
excellent
as he wants to
contrast.
kill Strahd, he knows that he cannot do so until he knows all of Strahd's strengths and weaknesses, of which there are probably many and few to none, respectively. But still, he will need much greater strength than he currently possesses, and I don't mean the strength score. And he needs a lot more magic if he's going to take Strahd out. So,
The brash warrior's muscles tense. The keen senses of the wizard heighten. Ismark draws his sister close to her as you pass the side of the fork that you're most certainly not taking, towards the more prominent gate, which you are. It seems almost as if something is going to happen. Like fate will not let you simply walk past this path so easily. The seconds that you tread across the potential to go to Castle Ravenloft stretch seemingly into hours and days. and then it is passed.
Oh, okay, cool.
And you move
I
towards
was
the
going to roll a will
gates.
save against going to die.
You are drawn to the castle.
Shit.
Well, there's time.
Yeah.
Make a will save against walking into your doom. Just
Hey, there's time.
fair enough.
Maybe he just really likes
Pass
getting visitors. Because he
Through
does not get chances to host.
the large, fancier gates, and then make your progress further into the woods. An hour passes, and then 2.
This was a smart decision.
4 more werewolves.
No, like
That would not be good.
treants just were walking past and they just
In the middle of
one
the
by
second
one.
hour, Crack spots something.
Oh shit.
To his rear,
What do you see with your bird eyes?
Your left.
I like how Jeff actually tried to look over his shoulder for
they're
a second.
partially
I
hidden
was
in the
looking at
fog.
my shoulders, looking at dudes.
They are
Oh.
partially hidden in the fog, but nevertheless you can still notice them. A humanoid figure is hunched, clearly up to something, though it is currently still when you spot it.
Renfield, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in a jail cell somewhere. Rats! It's like, that can't be your only line. It's the only line Mario remembers. Rats!
Yeah.
Is he looking at Crack?
Who, Renfield? Renfield?
Yeah,
Renfield, likely not. This figure, however, is turned in the direction of the group. The fog is thick enough that you can't see like the facial features too well, but since it's turned in your group's direction, there's no way it's looking anywhere but at you guys.
Say, whisper. Who's next thing?
If you're up front, probably Siguror.
If that sounds reasonable, then. So here
Because
it is.
Greila probably bringing up the rear for back attacks.
Kraken, Seeger, cow and chicken.
Oh my god!
That is a funny coincidence.
Cow and chicken.
I'm a
Yeah.
bull, not a girl.
You're cow and chicken.
We can make this work.
There was that
It's
TV
every
show,
Cartoon
Cow and Chicken.
Network.
You
Cartoon.
Yeah, Cartoon Network cartoon.
Crack is capable of whispering to, or Crack will be
Had the
whispering.
lesbian biker
To
gang called the Carpet
Siguror.
Munchers. In a Cartoon
I'll
Network
whisper.
show.
I'll whisper in character. Guy that way. Head motion that way.
The Birdman does a completely unsubtle gesture with his giant beak. He's that way.
You're
I use
Zazu.
my head.
Well, I mean,
I know, I'm joking,
It's a
but you
Birdman,
have a
dude.
beak attached to your face, stuff would be like this. Like, your beak will telegraph your...
Actually, it's on the contrary, in that Crack is very subtle with his whisper. However, despite this, his whisper signals the sound of twigs snapping and very loud sounds of something moving quickly away from the group.
Probably rolled.
I'm not
and
chasing
I
it
assume
down.
looking in the
so-
direction Gonzo.
Looking in the direction, you see some like bushes moving. They're kind of close to the road. Some like bushes moving, and the retreat noises are really loud. You might almost think it's an animal with how tactless and blatant the movement is.
Clearly, it's not a pack of the lion.
For
I
sure.
knew I should have taken
Side.
Hold Person.
See
I
anything?
knew I should have taken Hold Person.
Pushing the bushes aside, see anything?
Instead of invisibility.
When Siguror rushes forward and like pushes aside the bushes, he's able to make out a humanoid figure that is currently running through the trees. The mist makes it kind of difficult to make it out, but
Yeah,
it hasn't been too long.
I ain't running into the mist. Hell no. Would I be able to roll survival to see if that person's been here long? Like if they've just been waiting for a random thing to come through? or seeing like how many, I guess.
I'd give you that. Like, you can look at like where and like maybe a little bit more, and then see if maybe there are some tracks, and if so, what kind.
You know what's funny? It's not Strahd, but if it was Strahd, you'd be like, you think you'd be better at being a stalker after all these centuries or whatever?
It's just Strahd von Zarovich in the bushes.
He saw me. Aren't you the end of the adventure, Bob? He saw me. Gotta get away.
Would you believe I panicked?
No, I really wouldn't.
Not even a little.
Pretty sure he's immune to the frightened conditions.
7.
Is he immune to inflicting it on himself?
Yeah.
You take a look, and you see some pretty obvious signs that somebody was standing here and had moved here. You're not sure exactly when, and to be honest, you're not sure exactly what you're looking for in these tracks. Because you just confirm what you already knew, more or less.
Yeah.
Someone was here, someone was looking at you guys, someone left oddly clumsily, but we all have bad days, or do we?
And it looks like it ran into the mist, basically.
Well, into the woods, but there is mist.
But is it like heavy kill you mist, or is it normal mist?
It is the normal mist.
Okay.
It might turn into heavy mist farther in, but well, that's something that figure would have to worry about.
Well, we have tracks.
Well, we were being watched.
Do you want to follow him? Because that's an option.
Well, going into the woods put Ismark and Irina in danger.
That's true.
That
It could be
sad Letus being followed without any answering is dangerous in and of itself as well. It's dangerous no matter what we do.
Why not let them follow us, Ismark says. It will be safe in Vallaki regardless.
If we make it there. What if he is going to tell people further up the road to ambush us? How many numbers we have? How strong we are?
Another thing to consider, the first person we came
He looks
across.
down a little bit.
First person we came across before reaching your town was a werewolf disguising itself as a man.
I think if this was a werewolf, he might have been a little bit sneakier than. That was a
Or
rather
have
clumsy
attacked
outfit.
us.
Yeah.
Their ability to control themselves is minimal, especially as it gets closer to the moon.
Are we
That
tracking
being
them
said-
down or not?
What do I know? Can I roll nature to know what kind of dangerous shit is in the woods?
Sure. You already have a basic idea.
Woods. The woods is dangerous.
12.
Well, you're already familiar with the threat of wolves and werewolves.
Yeah.
You are also familiar that there are barbarians that stalk some of these parts, usually closer to the mountains, but it's possible.
Barbarians.
You know that there are blights of different kinds that also stalk the woods and make it a dangerous place.
I would say, Crack, this was a full-size man, yes?
Was it David? Was?
Yeah,
Humanoid.
it is pretty clear.
Then it was not the blight.
Or
Probably.
wolf.
I mean, unless one of them secretly Thorn Elemental in there, but I don't know what we're going to do about that. He's 7'7".
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that.
Well, I want to investigate because I do not like being followed.
I want to push on.
Even if he is not leading us into a trap, I would rather fight enemies along the road than in the forest.
So you want to continue on?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it is safer. Just be extra on your guard.
Alright.
But that's just my vote. I'm voting with Crack. He's voting for following. Does Greila have an opinion?
The road is probably better. I assume if we keep our eyes out and we don't roll shit, we might notice. That part obviously is out of character, but we might notice something, like there might be something across the road or something to slow us
Maybe.
down.
Your other allies are in agreement.
Okay, let's stick along the road then. I'll have Sakar. Not constantly, because birds get tired, but, you know, he'll spend a decent amount of time flying up and getting a bird's eye view and then coming back down. Hopefully, between that and his ability to have roll advantage on perception, that should help. Although, since we're traveling while it's happening, technically that cancels it out. Normally, if you make perception checks while traveling, you roll it with disadvantage. However, I should note that does not apply to Crack because he's a ranger, and if Sakar gets advantage from his keen sight, then obviously advantage and disadvantage. So basically, Sakar and Crack should be able to make perception checks at normal, while the rest of us will have it with disadvantage.
Wouldn't it make a little bit more
while
sense?
traveling.
Wouldn't it make a little bit more sense due to how small yours is that it would probably go ahead and trees and like bounce between them?
No, because there could be giant spiders in trees, and I'm more afraid of those than something big fly. If something big flies out of the sky and attack it, Crack's likely to see it. If it flies into a tree and gets eaten by a spider, then I have to spend 10 gold on summoning my familiar, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, it actually takes
quite
resources?
dreadful.
Yes.
I thought it was just time.
Yeah, no, it
It's
takes an hour and costs gold.
Wow.
It also sounds pretty
Very
traumatic.
sick. Yeah, also, my bird died, and I don't want that to happen either. But just talking from a purely resource standpoint, that's a pain in the ass.
Ultimately, the group pushes on. More time passes, and the next interruption you experience is nowhere near as shifty, but most definitely dangerous. Sometime later, you are confronted, not by a humanoid figure, but a beast. A wolf, easily the size of a grizzly bear, comes striding out of the mist, snarling. A chorus of howls from all around you also accompany it as you are set upon.
More werewolves.
Do we know if these are werewolves or just like wargs?
Well, it's the size of a house, which means it's either a werewolf that's in like a beast form, or it's a wolf. Can I roll
Size
actually?
of a
Can I roll nature?
And sure.
Because it could be like dire wolves. I mean, the lack of spikes would probably
15.
be a good tip off of it. Not being right.
And I assume you want us to roll initiative?
I do, but I will tell you that there are some markings on it, and the size and the coloration of the fur that allows you to confirm that these, well, this one and then the others that come striding out are dire wolves.
Yeah, straight up. All right.
Okay.
I
mean,
fantastic.
It's better than werewolves, I think.
Well, it would have been cool for
You
him to be
think.
able to use the silver sword, but whatever. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's.
I need to get the tips of my horns.
Oh,
coated
and
in silver.
yeah, I need to watch his rolls because I have my
Portents.
portents.
How
Hold on,
many?
there's something else real quick.
How many roll out?
As you prepare for battle, you find yourselves
Oh,
surrounded,
Okay.
including the initial aggressor. There are 6 dire wolves.
Okay, it's a pack. It's a full pack.
It's a wolf pack. Someone got a 4. Obviously, we keep that. We got a 12. We got a 12. We got a 4.
I thought you were going to say 12 again. I was going to be like, okay.
See, I thought you were about to say, with that hand motion, it kind of looked like I might have taken his die.
No.
No, you don't get to roll initiative anymore.
There's 4, 12,
13,
12,
12, 4, 10,
18. So there's one more.
and one more.
17. Shit. I think I'm going to save those portents for attacks because even if I slow some of them down, they're still going to get to go.
Yeah, with how many there are.
However, I'm going to lucky my initiative because fuck this.
You get like. Did you get worse than a 7?
Well, I originally got a 5. I upped it to
Oh.
a 9 using one of my luckies, so. At least I'll go before the ones that rolled 4.
Yeah.
Because with that 5, I was probably going to go last.
I mean, I'll
Heedless of Crack's advantage, one of the wolves aggresses.
you're on a horse and somebody attacks, do they turn the horse?
They can. They have to choose to.
And then does the horse have AC?
Yeah, the horse has stats.
Huh.
Why would it work that way?
No. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking something else, but I guess that makes sense that there's a question for war horses and shit.
There's barding. You can put armor on a dog. You could go plate armor on a dog if you wanted to.
Technically, you can make barding for any creature.
Yeah.
See, I always thought it'd be kind of cool to play
Hey, is Crack's AC still 15? Next time. The wolf, or rather the dire wolf, snaps out at Crack, but misses. Crack's wits staying about him even in these dire circumstances.
So that'd be kind of cool to try playing like a small race, but as a cavalier, and he's riding like an armored big creature.
There's another that immediately dives in,
Just be that dude from
though its
Labyrinth.
target is Siguror.
I mean, yeah, my AC is big, but
It's better now.
it's 15, yeah.
Well, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better than mine.
It's better, and better happens to be good enough, as this one attempts to pounce on Siguror, but is unsuccessful. And then, it's Siguror's turn.
Cool. We'll activate Rage and go for the one that is actually aggressing Crack.
Very well.
Mostly to try and get that debuff down.
Yeah.
That is 24 to hit.
That is it.
Okay. 8. 10 to damage.
Alright. Your steel bites into its dire flesh, drawing blood.
Yeah, that's much else I can do.
Alright.
I mean, unless I want to provoke attacks. I mean, I guess I could just run around and try to burn everybody's.
What a bold strategy.
Only if we were actually surrounded.
It sounds like a cool scene, but in the meantime, it's just for a somewhat cool scene as two wolves a mess.
This one is also now surrounded. The attacking anything or anyone.
Ah, very well. Your ghostly guardians trouble the lead dire wolf, at least for now.
Is he bigger than the rest of them or anything?
Perhaps in personality. One of the wolves advances and attacks Sasha.
Or Hashimoto has advantage on this.
Oh,
This
right.
is true.
All attacks have
I
advantage.
forget this all the time.
I thought you were taking over senses.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think he's done it.
Really?
The blinded condition means they all have advantage on me.
I was going to say he hasn't done it yet.
That
Damn.
second attack was a 19, so
Yes.
I am going to use my lucky reroll to reduce that. So he rolls again, takes whatever this is.
Very well.
A 20.
That's sweet.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
No, this happens.
Unfortunately, fangs find flesh. For 12 damage.
Why did I stop?
At the same time, there is another attack. This one on Greila.
Graila's AC is 17.
And this attack narrowly is unsuccessful. As it tries its best to rip into Greila, but is unsuccessful.
Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
It tries, but does not
Cheering for
succeed.
the enemy?
However, no sooner has it attempted, does another one of its brethren attempt to.
I thought these motherfuckers rolled like 4s for initiative.
2 of them rolled 4s.
We're not to the fours yet. We might be to the fours. Forgive me. At least it is about to go, but not before Greila has her chance.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon and Shillelagh. And my Spiritual Weapon is going to attack... I guess the one that attacked Sasha that actually successfully bit him.
Very well.
Alright. And I'm pretty sure it's just a D8.
Double checking. That thing's not affected by flanking, right?
No, it's not, It doesn't act independently, and I can't make attacks of opportunity with it or anything like that. So it's not a threat other than the fact that it actually like literally stabs people.
It's not a threat other than
Yeah, it's
God,
my flash!
It's a staff, right?
yeah, it's a staff for a club. That's why I got favorite weapon.
See, that's why the Orc Iron Roaches are awesome. They
Spears.
make a spirit hate spear that stabs people. How cool is
Yeah,
that?
I like that.
That's such a pimp weapon, the spiritual weapon.
See,
I
actually
wish
like
it was
to
a
try to
spear.
play some-
I would like that or a big fucking battle axe. Just right
Well,
in people's heads.
You could have a flying hammer if you were like a cleric of foe or something. And you
Or
could
Morgan,
back-
when
or
he gets
Morden.
spiritual weapon, he can spiritual weapon up a big hammer and just be like, hey, you remember the magic hammer animation from FF8? And I was like, yeah, I do. BAM!
22 to hit. So
That is a hit.
I would actually
Just summons a big hits and
let's
stars.
see.
that'd be kind of cool to my character that gets
10
spiritual
damage.
weapon and could also cast like Dancing Blade. So there's
let me
that or
double
2
check.
things are.
Can't do both of those.
Really?
Yeah, they take up the same actions to move. And you're thinking of Mordecai and Sword. Now,
Wait a minute.
if you've got this dancing weapon, you could do
I
that.
can never
But a
do-
cleric could just do that.
I will have casted Shillelagh, and then with the other thing, I'll Sacred Flame because I forgot I can't fucking Shillelagh in the same turn. So this Sacred Flame will also be on the same one, so fuck that guy especially hard.
Dex save 15?
Yeah, I believe so.
Your
Yeah,
point was-
of 15. And if he does not make it, he takes
He does not.
5. Oh, he takes 5 radiant damage on.
Scorched by sacred flame, this wolf momentarily knows pain.
Okay.
While the others are frothing to go, it is not yet their turn, as both Sasha and Crack have their chances.
Alright. I'm going to attack before you move, just because I have a good position. If you don't mind. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do... Precious! Alia! Vero! And I will touch Sakar, and these things aren't resistant to anything, right? From my knowledge of them.
To your knowledge, no.
Okay, then let's just go with the classic Fire Breath. It is going to fly here, put out a 15-foot cone, so these 4 should have to roll a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take fire damage. Additionally, since that takes my bonus action to cast and Sakar's action to do, I'm going to take my action to use Mold Earth since it's a cantrip, and I'm going to bring up a 5-foot wall in front of Irina with a slot in like the center of it that's thin enough for her to stab through unimpeded, but should prevent their basically give her cover from their jaws. So she'll have cover from them attacking her, but she'll be able to attack them.
Can you be that specific with the wall?
Yeah, you can do that with Mold Earth. You can leave like a gap in it.
Yeah. Alright then.
Just leaving a gap in it to shoot from.
Or just have fun. I don't know if she has a ranged weapon, but she can. If it's like this thin, you can stab through it with a sword, but jaws aren't going to be able to get through it.
I may be confusing it with somebody else. I think she has.
What is the save that needs to be made?
15. And I'm gonna look at the damage right now.
Okay.
That's disappointing. That's better. 8 damage or 4 damage if they succeed.
Perhaps you have been underestimated by your foes, for many wolves are scorched. To your ears and to everyone else's eyes, it appears that only one of the 4 targets succeeded, being scorched less so than the others.
Cool.
Same since I scorched.
So I mean 8 damage to 3 of them. That's 24. 28 damage. If you're counting it that way, and I do, I'm never gonna do as much damage as crap unless I count AoEs. Then maybe. Yeah. I'll deal with the one in front of me. Assuming Greila doesn't kill it by the time it's my turn, I'll turn around and deal with that one. But I want to make sure they don't get up on my arena. And also do some AoE, because Dragon's Breath is awesome.
Does it get a wall, I suppose?
David could just remember it, or I could draw it if you want.
Drawing the one would actually be better because it doesn't take up space.
Unless you want a different color.
But the wall's taking up a square.
I'll do it.
Thanks, Molder. You are already useful. Molder's great.
No, I'm imagining somebody
They
use
probably-
mold earth, but they're like a sculptor, so they do it instead of like Molder's head. Because it already kind of sounds like.
I mean, I would allow that. Someone to take mold earth with proficiency in like masonry tools and be like, can I make like dirt sculptures? And, yeah.
Alright. What about Crackster?
The one in front of you took 8, I think, so.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
on high
yeah,
on
yeah.
that. But then again, if he's the one that saved.
He is also debuffed.
So he's the one that saved, so yeah. But he's also debuffed, so. But if he moves away from them to attack someone else.
He still gets disadvantage. Because he's attacking anyone but me. And even if it does hit, then you will still take half damage.
So I'm not this one.
Yes, I attack the one in front of you. Note that this one is currently debuffed, so if you want to attack someone else, you can't do that.
Then I'll do the one that's right on.
Very well.
I'll take the 19 with the 1.
That's that is a big
Many
discrepancy.
25.
That's it.
Dude.
And you will add dueling to this, but you will not add your dead bonus, because obviously they aren't dead. Unless there's
That we
somebody
know.
zombie dire wolves.
That would be cool, but
After you add 5 damage, and then I'm gonna.
You're like a necromancer, except you only raise like animals.
Did Jeff tell you about that?
What game?
There's a...
alright.
Can I punch one?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be able to punch one?
I am not sure.
Probably kick. Would probably make more
I would
sense.
rule you could, but...
It's as big as a horse, anyways. Jeff.
I am going
Or
to
a
assume
grizzly
that
bear.
you can.
Just lean down and be like, ah!
You ever seen a cowboy right up next to someone and punch him?
I usually see him
If a
kick.
cowboy can do it, then one can do it.
I get advantage on this
I
too.
would.
No, there's not,
Right? Or no?
I think so.
Usually happens to blade.
Goddamn.
You
No,
chuck.
no, no,
That
yeah.
didn't even land on a number, Jeff.
It didn't.
It,
no.
oh, if it did, it's an 18.
Yeah. Or do it again. Just.
Can't.
Alright,
You should take another 18.
I put that on.
Hopefully
18.
not.
18.
Yeah.
That is also a hit.
Alright,
They are dexterous, but they are large. It appears that 14 above will do it.
Alright. 5 damage. Hopefully they don't resist.
Assuming they don't bite you again. That's gonna be bad. Because then I'll have to roll a concentration check.
The frontmost dire wolf is slashed and bludgeoned, is harmed significantly. While it is still in the fight, its wounds are catching up with it.
Oh, cool.
Then we get the last two tournaments. It then becomes the last two tournaments.
Alright, cool. Good luck attacking the arena now. Except when they just run up and attack Kraken.
I mean,
Well, fine, fuck you.
I mean, that doesn't count as advantage, right? Because they're not on other sides, right?
As they move in, something changes. Their postures, their attitudes.
They are wolves, they might attack.
They start attacking not as single entities,
Ow.
but as a pack.
Pack tactics.
Ignoring the
They
fact
have
that they
advantage.
kind of could have been doing this earlier, but whatever.
Tactics.
This was an annoying thing. Lions do the same thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No, on Kendrill, my mouse is a lion, and it has pack tactics. Since I'm writing it, I'm technically always within 5 feet of it.
That's dumb.
So-
That's dumb.
So my lion always has advantage because I'm writing.
Two dire wolves rush forward and attempt to snap out and crack. One of them is unsuccessful, but another one finds feathery flesh.
Ew.
Harming Crack for 8 damage.
Well, that sucks. That sucks. Real hard.
And it is only just begun.
Yeah.
But first, a word from your allies.
Another crit.
Them indeed.
Which
Maybe
one?
Ismark will be the lesser no longer.
Which one is the failure?
One of them was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Wait. One of those was a fake.
Well, if the crit, wouldn't they have rolled 2d8s on a longsword?
One of them was real. Never mind.
I assumed it was just rolling the crit.
Nope, I made a mistake, but it turned out to be okay.
Fair enough. So yeah, 8 plus 6 plus probably 2 of the strength. That's 16 damage.
You know,
16 damage.
Ismark slashes out at a nearby wolf, but unfortunately misses.
Still the lesser then.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
his sister fares much better as she manages to get one of the wolves in the eye. It howls in pain as it takes quite a bit of damage.
Good job.
Blood pitter-patters onto the floor as another one of the canine comrades attempts to make up for this moment of hope.
And he's like, I'll show you crits. Just takes fucking Quack's head off. Well, I hope you really wanted to play that, whatever you were going to play next time.
human version of this character.
I was trying to think of a character that could see in the darkness as far as possible, and as far as I got was like the deep nose and
There's a-
stalker.
The current leader, or at least the frontmost wolf, leaps up with like both of its paws and makes brief contact with like the side of the horse, propping itself up as it manages to snap and bite into Crack, inflicting some damage.
Okay, someone needs to get in there. Or wait, was this one the lead one?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
the
no,
debuff.
he does do half damage.
Yeah.
Oh, and he shouldn't have rolled twice. He only should have rolled once because of
Disadvantage
disadvantage.
because he is surrounded. Sorry.
Regrettably, for me and the tension of the scene, he actually whiffed that. There's another wolf that assaults
Good
Siguror
job, Siguror.
for reasons, one way or another, and is successful in penetrating Siguror's defenses.
We got penetrated.
Yeah.
Well, in a fight, you get penetrated a lot. Stabbing
God.
is really common.
Damn,
Inflicting-
he got me. I should have been paying attention.
Inflicting 10 damage before your before anything.
Yeah,
Rage.
5.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It then is Sigurd's turn to give
Man,
back
Ancestral
better than he
Guardian is
got.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Have to stop him from getting hit, have your own damage.
Well, that's from rage.
Well, yeah, I know. But
He's being swarmed, so I really, really feel like it should be on this side, but I'll help you out a different way. I'm going to continue chopping away at that one, the leader. I'm going to keep hacking. 14 to hit.
Yes. That is it.
Excellent.
That seems to be like the bare minimum. It's very close, but you still managed to get it.
Alright. 10 damage again.
10 damage again. However, what happens for the first time is that you are capable and able to separate a hefty portion of its meat from its body. Hitting something vital, there's blood spurt as it howls and gurgles its last.
Excellent. Then I shall take. That's where I up.
Yes. You'd still be moving outside of its threat, but
I'm going to
different.
try to use hammering horns on that one. So this wave, I'm just making sure no more than one size larger than me, and you say they are large.
yes.
Okay, so still within. Cool. And I'll try pushing 10 feet that way into the other one.
Alright.
And it's just a strength save. Or strength check. It is 8 and 10.
It's against a difficult nature.
Sorry. Yes, it is 15. DC 15. Because rage does not add to the difficulty, just the damage.
The wolf manages to hold its ground, even against Sigurd's ferocity.
Damn. Alright.
What stats do paladins rely on?
Charisma and strength, mainly.
Actually,
Everybody uses con.
you can actually be a Dex Paladin if you go Rapiers instead.
Yeah.
If you go Rapier and Shield.
But charisma always.
That's what I was thinking. I need to get a finesse weapon for Squig. Strength ain't shit. My dex is decent.
This dire wolf looks and, for a brief moment, seems to lock eyes with Ismark. Ismark involuntarily cowers, and in that moment it strikes.
Who's you fucking Porky from Earthbound?
Does Porky ever turn to a wolf?
No,
but
Porky
the way
is
he
a
described
coward.
it,
Oh.
Porky's a wuss. He has a really cool battle theme in Month of Freedom. It's one of the better songs.
I haven't gotten to that
Fangs meet flesh
yet.
as Ismark is damaged.
Aside from Songs of Adventure, that's the best song.
It is then Graila's turn.
I am going to
He's good
use
enough.
Shillelagh this time, which means I won't be attacking with my spear, but I will hit where I'm at. The one I've been beating up is the brown one, right? The brown taffy.
No, Taffy is this mark.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his
I
mark.
can't reach him. Oh, it's his mark. Oh, sorry, his mark. No,
I use Candy as your NPC allies as a reminder of their killing.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to eat your delicious body.
Shouldn't we be candies? Since we are super killable as well.
Yeah.
You are PCs. You are less fragile.
But you can still revel within our
I'll
defeat in your own way.
strike the Tootsie Roll closest to me then.
But eating the
I
pods,
guess.
sucks. This hero is vicious.
He ate my pog.
No.
He ate my pog. And then somebody needs like a whole bin of copies of their pog. It's just can drop.
Why do we keep coming across enemies that have swallow whole? This is
I
bullshit.
would just fucking give up though. I'm not as hardcore as that delinquent. I would just fucking give up.
Hey, David, do you know the name of that muscle? It goes.
Yeah. What you get to hit?
27. There's an natural 20. So fuck this guy
Certainly.
super hard. So 20 damage.
Nice.
Just double check attack bonus is proficiency plus strength.
3, yeah.
Then he's one higher.
Greila lashes out with great clarity, separating one of the wolves' heads from its shoulders.
With a club? Jesus Christ.
Does Shillelagh make it sharp?
Shillelagh makes it magic.
Does it become sharp?
No,
It's
but
a
you do
fucking
get
club.
to see the direwolf's head, or rather its neck, bend in a rather sharp L shape.
Ooh. Oh. Nice shot.
God, I think you one-shot that one.
Ah,
Oh, dude.
it is then Sasha and Crack's turn.
Not to add to myself getting beat up, but should this one have gone and attacked me? Because it got to go before last turn.
It went and attacked Ismark.
Right, right.
Sorry, I
Bite.
missed that.
Yeah.
It looked at
right,
Ismark.
right. That was the porky thing.
It looked at Ismark almost as if purposely, and then bit him.
Huh. How weird. Okay, whatever. I will.
Slightly more intelligent than regular animals.
Yeah, just let
This
our
is my
NPC
turn.
allies die. That is kind of realistic but lame. I don't want them to die because like we would have come all the way out to Valencia or whatever. Vallaki.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
everybody's favorite part of Resident Evil 4, man. You gotta protect your companion.
I was gonna say losing your companions. What? And you're like,
No, those are the best
protect
part.
him.
Those are the best parts. Then you don't gotta watch her.
10 total. So it's got half
Do you have anything you can do to it in melee?
Yes. I will turn to the ones that attack me, and I say, "Your beast, your blood shall feed this tainted earth. Incertus, Polkar, Imperio!" And I will fire magic missiles from my outstretched fingers right into its face.
Yeah, magic missiles don't need no rolls.
Just deal damage specifically.
You need a decoy.
No, it's fine. I deal. Wow, that's disappointing. 8.
It takes 8 damage. It is Crack's turn.
That's not all my turn. Sorry. And then
It will be Crack's
there's
turn.
a car. Fly here. Fly.
Above cracking down.
We'll do it again out of spite. Remember about it so much? Fine. Here you go.
We'll
This
hit
is on
these
purpose.
two. Just perch on top of here. Fire down. I wanted it to hit this one and yours, but there's no way I can do that without hitting myself by firing from here, or hitting Siguror by firing from there. Unfortunately, that's why I was.
I do not take half damage from magic.
Yeah. So these two have to roll DC 15 reflex saves, or take
Alright.
I'm done. I was really done, but it doesn't matter. If it comes up next turn, I'll remember.
Okay.
Takes 9 or 4 if they save.
Both of them are thoroughly scorched. Harmed. Their wounds seem to be catching up with them as well. Now it is Crack's opportunity.
A lot better. So, 24.
24 is a hit. Oh, which one are you aiming
The one in front.
at? Okay. Well, okay, it could be. When he said the one in front of him, I thought he meant this one, but he could mean this one.
I mean the one you're pointing at.
Okay.
8 damage on that one.
Cool.
Let's see if this one. 9. What the fuck?
You have another 7.
Yeah, you can roll both at once for good.
I know. 15.
That is it.
Yeah, 7 damage. 7.
Alright.
And I'll use one of my key points on for patient defense.
Hey!
On top of your horse.
No, it's convenient because he'll negate the advantage you get from pack tactics. Because patient defense is
Yeah.
disadvantage, so
Oh. Yeah.
it's a good idea.
Once again, this wolf feels the sting of steel and bird fist. Your target begins huffing and wheezing, its fearsome visage breaking under the weight of its damage. It is close to death.
I just want you to stab someone's eye out with your beak because that is so savage.
Regardless of how close it is to death, however, this does not stop its pursuit of your death. Nor does it stop its companion's
Damn,
pursuit.
they're all up on your bird nuts. Some like off the corn nuts.
So, he
Bird
only
nuts.
gets one reward.
Yeah. Or off-brand,
I
Spicy
thought that was
taste.
the lead one that was debuffed.
or joke
Oh, okay.
versions of bird
No,
names.
patient defense gives
wow.
this. I take the dodge action.
Robinsons.
So,
Then
that,
yeah, I believe you're correct then. My bad. I was unfamiliar with patient defense, so. The wolf most damaged snaps out, but misses. The other one connects. What is a little worse for wear itself? Nevertheless, it's still drawing blood. $11 points of damage.
Oh, damn. Oh, how bad
You bleed?
40 health, so close to half.
Yeah, you bleed.
21.
Siguror has very little time to worry about his comrade, who seems to be hanging pretty tough when he is under attack. He flashes back to those turns that the NPCs totally took and feels a little bit of comfort depending on how well they do when I roll. This wolf misses. It's tired. Excuse me for just a moment. Both Ismark and his sister take their turns. Unfortunately, they both miss. Siguror has done his best to defend against Wolf, and now has his chance to do his best attacking.
I will aggress.
We sex stated it's not his work, his sister. It's Irina and her brother. Flip it around, but it's clearly way more important to the story. I mean, you could argue that you should just use both their names equally, but not. This is what I want.
Alternatively, refer to them as the two. Which is, if I had been thinking about it, probably.
The siblings.
That sounds weird.
They're people. They have names. Just because they're NPCs. I mean, NPC rights activists, thank you very much.
Okay.
People treat NPCs like they're nothing.
See, I know you're joking, but I can see somebody
I'm
putting
putting
that
out.
as a
Some
thing.
people treat NPCs like dirt just because they're NPCs, and I'm definitely against that.
I
Yeah.
think it used to be a lot worse, but now we've had a bunch of like things making fun of dickbag adventurers. If you guys are any indication, I feel it's less prevalent now.
25 to hit.
It always bums me out when I run into somebody that doesn't feel that way. It's like, there's just an NPC. And I'm like, dude, come on. It's another person.
In the
Even
context of the
if you
game,
care,
it's
yeah.
a person.
I don't know how anybody can go, they're not real.
And it's like, well, yeah, your character's real either. What the hell
Why
is
do
your
you
point?
care about your character?
It's one of many things I don't understand about Fred. Because he would do that.
Yeah, I agree. It's
25 is most certainly hit, as you may have guessed.
7 damage.
Nah, he cast shield 4 times, and it's like, okay. Once would have confused me, but 4 times, that's just...
Why would somebody cast? What is it? It's not prestidigitation. Where you store a spell on something or someone.
I don't know.
Contingency?
Yes.
That's where you store a spell on yourself.
Oh, I thought you could do it like on the floor or like other things.
Siguror further
You might be thinking of
harms
Glyph's
the
Wards.
wolf.
And then I will attempt.
Yeah, it's not going to work on the Tootsie Roll.
You say that, and you're right.
And I'm right, because it's not going to work on the Tootsie Roll.
That one is surrounded, and I'm gonna attempt to hammering horns again, him into his ally to try and knock the ball down.
Okay.
15 still to save. Oh, apologies. I forgot 2 more damage due to rage. Almost forgot.
The enemy is harmed. The enemy is not moved.
Alright.
Wow, they don't want to move.
Nope.
Come on, boy, you want to go for a walk? Nope. Alright.
I'm already on a walk.
It is the size of a grizzly bear. If it didn't want to move, that hard time moving it.
It's very strong.
Well, I just remember one time when I was a kid, my close friend Renee trying to get her dog to go for a walk, and it was just fucking
Dead weight.
It was this big black lab, and it was like, nope.
Oh yeah, no, that was.
My name is Otis because I have the name of a 60-year-old black jazz musician for some reason. Yeah, if that dog didn't want to move anywhere, you were not moving it. The thing was huge.
This is the one that Greila attacked and killed, right?
No.
That
I
was
killed the
that
other
one.
one. That one took
This is the
10
one-
damage.
Okay.
So it's a 10 and an 8 for my magic missiles because I rolled shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is also one that attacks successfully Sasha.
Or I'm gonna use. Actually, would it have attacked successfully if it instead got a 4 plus whatever it adds against my 12 armor class?
No.
Well, then it got a 4.
Very
And
well.
unlike, I just want to specify, when I use lucky, it's more just like an attack misses. I kind of like turn like, it's like accidental almost, you know, like oh look a penny, but not as pronounced.
It's not Robin
When
Williams.
I
but-
use portent to negate an attack, it's not like that. I totally knew it was coming and like turned to basically make him look as stupid as possible. It doesn't apply to a wolf, but for other people, like I just bring my cloak up and like nope.
Very well.
Because I literally foresaw this, so I'm gonna make it look as stupid as it possibly can.
Throw a little sand in their eyes.
Well, not like
Sasha
that.
is
Pocket
unharmed.
sand.
Sasha is unharmed this time.
More like in Fire Emblem, when the sages dodge, they go like,
Oh yeah, they
then-
do fancify.
yeah, they do
Once
like
again,
a cool cloak like
It
that.
is Grayla's turn.
Alright.
However, Greila will also be followed by Sasha and Crack, without an enemy between them now.
So that one's gonna get whacked by the spirit club. Although I assume a 12 does not actually hit it. So
It does not.
I will move up to the one Fuck. Crack's it up.
Well, there's 2 too, so.
You should move to help crack. I mean, I'm gonna breathe fire on both of them anyway, but more damage to guarantee one of them.
Yeah.
Where can you stand so you won't be?
Oh no, that's fine. If you stand here, because Sikar's gonna fire like this and hit both of them.
Alright,
So where do
that's-
you want to be?
I'll move to the side of it.
Yeah, as long as you're standing to the side of here, I think is what I meant, right?
Yeah.
As long as to the side of Sikar, you can attack that one fine and not get flamed.
Very well.
If
Mother.
Greila wanted to,
fucker.
can she also stand here because cones are 1 square forward and split, right? Right?
Well,
So that way then
I
Greila would
whip
have
from both my
advantage.
attacks. So it's
you've actually got advantage.
Huh?
Oh.
You have
Shit.
advantage.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. 17 to hit.
That was a hit.
Okay. Fuck. 6
Placement.
damage. Then,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
You did 2 less on the magic missiles and you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Magic
Greila
missile.
moves in and lashes out, successfully slaying yet another. Close to death becomes death itself. Sasha and Crack. We already heard a little bit about what Sasha's planning.
I went first last time. You can go if you want to attack that one first.
No, it's kind of what you do.
Okay. Well, then, if that's what you want to do, Sakar will fly forward, fire breath, but it's DC 15, dexterity save, or takes 13 damage.
Fire
6
breath.
if yeah, this one. Unfortunately, they're positioned in a way that I can only hit one now.
Or you could hit all of them.
Yeah, but he'd hit us too.
Unfortunately, it is successful
So it takes 6 instead of
And just-
13.
to mitigate the harm done to itself.
Okay. And then additionally, what Sasha's going to do is clap his hands together, lean back, and breathe dragon breath of his own. Because I forgot that I can do that because of share spells. So he has like a DC 15 dexterity save or take 11 damage.
Same one or this one?
This one.
So with that, it costs a spell slot to cast Fire's Breath, but you can imbue it into your familiar so they can use it during the
I
duration.
can put it on anyone, and it lasts for a minute concentration, which is why I stopped him from hitting it because I didn't want to lose it. But because of share spells, any spell that just targets me can also for free target breath for me. So if I cast Dragon's Breath on myself, both of us can use it. Now you have to use your action to breathe fire.
How much damage was that again?
11 damage if he fails, 5 if he succeeds.
Unfortunately, it is 5.
I mean, that's still pretty damn good, though.
He doesn't smell as foul as you would want. That's definitely a hit. They're large, they are dexterous, but they're still large.
16 damage.
Is that with your spear?
Yeah.
Don't forget the plus
Hey,
2 for movement.
Was this one that you were attacking?
Yeah.
Plus 2 damage.
Yeah, plus 2 damage, yeah.
Because you have dual.
Because you're fighting stuff.
Okay. So that's
Still-
higher.
Yeah. Your first attack fells this foul beast, as it too was nearing death. Now has joined its brethren.
Has anyone heard the one right there? The closest
one?
Tootsie
Yeah,
Roll?
he's surrounded right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's
you
also a lure.
You can still move up and attack this one with your martial arts.
I'm good at that.
5-foot step.
Well, I was going to ask if you wanted to take your second attack. You cannot.
could. Or he can.
14.
And who are you
Me.
targeting? This?
14.
And is this attack with spear as well? Is this...
No, 10.
So is it cool if I move you up towards that? And you said you got 14? Alright, it's just barely, but it's a hit.
Go by that.
5 damage.
It is struck. It snarls. But that does not reverse what has happened. In spite
Really?
of his feelings, he moves, his mark does, and attacks, his mark does. The 2 siblings move, and the 2 siblings attack. Both of whom are successful. One of the many wolves attacks, but is unsuccessful. Just like that, it's Siguror's opportunity to do some damage.
Continue chopping.
Very well.
$14 to hit.
Alright.
$14 damage.
Siguror slashes for 14 damage.
Strength is 2 for rage.
Bring it low, but not quite to death.
And try the hammering horns again. Because I mean, if they're prone, it'll give people more advantage. Knock them into each other. We'll try.
Your attempt to muscle this one around is this time successful.
Sick. Bash him into his friend. And knock him prone.
They're forced together, if only for now. However, they manage to keep their feet.
Ah.
Furthermore, its companion seeks its vengeance.
Oh no. I just gave him
So
pack
thanks for
tactic.
giving
I
me
just
that.
gave him pack tactic.
Well, they're
It's-
attacking me because they would have had advantage.
This time, no. It sniffs this one in particular, sniffs the air in, in your charge's direction. Then turns and attempts to bite his mark.
What the fuck? They hit
That
me
one really
hard.
likes this mark.
However, its attempt fails.
Nice.
And it then becomes the rest of the party's turn.
Okay. I think it's Grant's first.
I will.
It's true.
Alright. First thing first. My spear is gonna attack the closest one to it. And gets a 14. So.
Yeah.
And it does. Wait, does it take my modifier?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes 10 damage from the club with the special weapon. I said 3.
Alright.
And
It
then
is pierced for 10 damage, which manages to put it down.
okay. And I'll use
Sacred
Sacred
to
Flame on the
spectral
other
weapon.
one, so it has to make a DC 15 save.
Alright.
Or take. Fuck. 2 damage.
It manages to make it save.
Okay, take that.
This time being fleet of foot. Go for how long? No one knows.
Walk 'em off.
Very well.
Do you want to hop to the other side of him?
He already has advantage.
Oh. Does he?
Yeah. He's had advantage this whole time.
Horse. Right. Mounted combat.
Takes 15, so I got 21.
Kind of forgot it's a horse too. That
I'm
is a hit.
11 damage.
Oh, sorry, forget. I'm just double checking. Do we buy or rent these horses?
We bought him.
Okay.
25 to hit on my punch. That's it.
Even if I
Most
roasted them, I'm
definitely.
not returning to them to those fucking
Those
guardians. They tried to fleece us. I'm not. It's nothing against the people. It's against this fucker in particular.
5 damage.
Those people.
I said the people.
Your first attack makes the enemy wobble. The second fells it.
Oh.
The last of your foes is defeated. The way made clear, if only for now.
Let's get them. We can have some big ass blankies. I'm just joking.
Ismark turns to his sister and asks, "Are you okay?" To which she nods. "Yes, I'm fine."
Ismark says I got a
You're injured.
But
He looks at his wound and says, "It really looks worse than it is."
How bad?
Good that I won't bother healing it.
Look, like he got hit twice.
I will say, I believe Greila is capable of assisting you if she wanted to mind.
I don't mind.
I would be appreciative.
How much damage
I
do you
don't know
take?
if NPCs get to spend hit dice, but we should also probably get off the road and take a short rest so that Crack can heal up some of his hit points and I can heal up my own.
We've been traveling
Because we don't want to burn all your spell slots.
from our walls.
Yeah, you've been traveling a little over 3 hours.
Okay.
And Ismark is down 13 health.
13 health. I will
So if
use
you roll an 8 on
a
cure
cure
wounds,
wounds on him. We'll see if I roll. Nope. Though he does heal for 7.
Nothing to sneeze at.
And
Too kind.
I will use my lay on hands and heal him for 4. So that's
so he's
11.
only down 2 health. He
He's
should
only
be
down
fine.
12.
Quite wondrous.
So we should continue for now and for a short while before we stop for
Looking at
a
these
little
things,
bit.
to acknowledge, do you know if these are edible?
They are wolves. Do you not eat wolves where you come from?
Not exclusively, but a
I
decent
mean,
amount. Did
I
not
do
know if they were
think-
intelligent.
I do not believe they are poisonous, as that is what you think. Out of character, do I know anything about wolves that would lead to
Dire
you
wolves.
shouldn't eat them?
I was going
Because
to say...
people hunt dire animals for meat.
I was going to say that you know for a fact that they are totally edible and not poisonous, and you believe that there is a town somewhere, or at least some parts of the country, that serve wolf steaks.
Okay, well then yeah, let's
Cut them up with
what
Huh.
proficiency would butchery be? That'd be cooking tools.
animal handling.
Cooking tools is about as good as any.
Okay. He doesn't. Oh, well, actually. So, Crack doesn't have cooking tools. But he's a ranger. Rangers are used to living off the land and probably butchering, cutting, and eating their own
at
food.
least.
Can you
Probably.
argue that with his wilderness survival training as a ranger, Crack could roll a survival check in place to skin and cut and, basically take what's useful from these wolves?
And we could use
With
that as our rest.
survival.
I suppose.
How long would that take?
I'd say a while. I'm
6
going to
Plus
say like 2 hours.
2 hours.
They are like grizzly bears.
They're
size
big,
wolves,
and there's
you know.
6 of them.
Well then, yeah, we'll pop a short rest during that time, and unfortunately, I don't have any more ink left to scribe another spell. Otherwise, I would.
Alright.
I'll assist Greila with butchering the animals. I have some crack.
Gorilla will
You'll
assist
assist
Greila,
yourself?
Greila will assist herself.
I will
Greila will
cascade.
assist Crack with butchering the animals.
I suppose.
Huh?
Survival.
I suppose
would
I
be
could
able
do
to-
that, but you're the one
during
who's
his-
survival. I don't
the
have survival.
survival at all.
Sure.
You don't have survival.
Oh, you don't have survival?
I will be the
Oh,
one.
you don't?
I will be
do.
the one slicing up the animals.
Then
Oh,
you can make
well
an
then.
attempt at it untrained, or you can do it.
Okay.
Then I'll also
Just
aid
not
you.
as efficient.
I'll aid you to
22.
Okay.
Not good enough.
Alright. You start taking a rest. You start carving into the dire wolves.
Hey,
the siblings
just
take a load off, and perhaps we should as well. We will be right back.
Okay.
And we return to the journey, hopefully better rested, definitely better prepared against what is to come. Predictably, the group presses on towards their destination of Vallaki. They move through the woods, still occasionally hearing the far off howl or the skittering of something unseen.
I mean, days away from Vallaki.
We're actually getting pretty close. Should be maybe half a day after today.
After today.
Alright.
In fact, there's a point close to nightfall where you stumble across a iron-jawed device on the ground, and Ismark is the one who points it out and says, "Look, a hunting trap. It must mean we're getting close." Even the boldest hunters do not stray far from the villages, if they are anything like ours.
Perhaps.
Be on the lookout, there might be more that are better hidden than just
Well,
placed in the
Slim's
middle of the road.
A lot of character, I assume he's pointing to it off the road.
Out of character it is.
Okay.
Off the road.
It's not
Okay.
in the middle.
Okay.
Which is why Ismark points it out. It's not it's a little hidden.
Right.
Still throw in the watch out for which might be better hidden.
I doubt hunting traps will be along the road, but I will keep an eye out.
You stay alert. And
Maybe that's it, lucky, not alert.
okay, you stay lucky. The rest of you stay somewhere between alert and some other thing. The group finds they were actually a lot closer to their destination than they thought, as there is a point towards the beginning of nightfall where you're up on a hill and can make out a small walled village, but a few hours away. I was mistaken. I believe that is Vallaki, and it seems we will reach it not a moment too soon. We will see some darkness, but hopefully not too much on this other side of their walls.
So you have never been here
How
before.
much darkness? Like an hour?
Maybe hour and a half.
I will say. To miss traveling in darkness.
Is it more dangerous sleeping out in the open?
It might be.
Could it? At least with the travel, we'd be able to rest on the other side.
Unless we are trapped by wolves before we get there. In the dark, do you think you can fight the wolf?
Surely we have torches. We could try. It is so close. It is right there.
Lighting up a torch.
I have told you of my objections. If you wish to risk it, I cannot stop you. However, as Greila hinted at, lighting up torches will mean we will be visible from farther away. Any wolves in the dark will be able to see us. From quite a distance.
I would not mind trying to get there as soon as possible, but there is also the chance of us coming across a new hunter that may have misplaced a trap. It's a lot harder to see them in the dark.
Again, I doubt the hunter would leave a trap like in the middle of the road.
You would be surprised.
His sister puts a hand on his shoulder and tells her brother, if they believe it is wise to wait, perhaps it would be wise to wait. I would not think to move forward without you. even with it so close. If you all wish to wait, we will.
Have you never been here before?
No. I have only heard of its great defenses, and how far it lies from Castle Ravenloft, outside its view proper.
But yeah, if people want to go under the dark, we can go. I just,
No,
Sasha's.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference to you, does it?
No, it doesn't. But it'll make a difference if we're attacked under the cover
I
of
know.
darkness. Also, if we get there, if they don't open the gates at dark,
We're way outside.
that would be right outside the.
Well, Sasha has proclaimed that he thinks it's unwise and doesn't want to. Neither does Siguror.
No, I thought
His
Sigurd
sister-
told her what.
No, he started.
I forgot the second part of what she said.
I think it sounded like you were like, oh, it is pretty close, but I don't like the idea. I took that
Of
as
some
agreeing.
crazy hunter being like, let's just put traps in the middle of the road so if anyone's walking along here, because apparently we're assholes, crazy assholes. Why would that?
I just didn't describe it properly.
A new hunter that saw a werewolf in disguise walking along the road, and then ripping
But
apart
no,
another
You
road.
have
people
to
walk
go,
down
a normal
the-
hunter who sees a werewolf will
That's
turn
some
around and
Fallout
go
shit.
fucking
That would
back.
be like if I just put a landmine in the middle of fucking Main Street, because, hey, what if one of these people is werewolves?
I just didn't describe it properly. When the trap was pointed out, it was pointed out in a place that was not unreasonable.
Well, he
or
knows
weird.
that, but he was saying, but what if one puts one in the road? And I'm like, but why would you think
I'm
that?
thinking of more of homeland paths that are taking a lot of the time are easily trapped and ambushed, even by people you would not expect to trap or ambush them.
Eh, maybe. I mean, that is logic.
It's a crazy person. It's like a landmine in Main Street.
Well, hey, there's a lot of people who haven't seen landmines, so they go and investigate. Bam.
It seems
Thumbs up.
the consensus is to
Well, that's
not move
From
through
crazy
the
teams.
dark. Consensus reached. I assume the camp is made.
Okay.
We're doing it at the top of the hill, or are we going down a little bit farther where there's a bit more cover?
Well, it's up to you guys.
Depends. I mean, at the top of the hill, we'd have the best view of anyone approaching us, supposedly.
Okay,
But also
finding
vice
a camp is
versa.
a survival check, right?
I would
just
give.
make-
I would give survival. Yeah.
Greila.
You could also
Description.
just
Cheers.
look around and
Are you-
make a decision.
Are you sure? I got a 9, David.
I don't know what you roll. I'm just saying he's gonna make who he thinks has the best.
Sasha
chance.
tasks Greila with finding a proper campsite, and Greila does her best. It's foggy. It's starting to get kind of dark. You find a clearing. Were you aiming like off the road or just a little down?
Close to the road, but not on it.
Okay. You find like a little offshoot from the road that seems good enough. I mean, it's flat. It's got relatively few leaves on it. And those could
Okay.
probably be moved.
If it looks particularly bad, I can try making a roll for a better one.
Well, if you were suspicious of Grayla's picking, like it's flat dirt.
Sasha
like,
assumes that
probably
Greila
could be
picked it
better.
for a good reason, so he's not gonna complain.
Like it
Might have
probably
noticed
could be
something
better,
else.
but there's nothing that jumps out at
Take it.
you. Settles in for the night. Are there any special prescriptions for watch order or any special things?
Whoever wants
What
to
you
go
were doing?
first.
Or
Or actually, I'm gonna try to be cool about it. And I was like, Ismar, would you mind taking first watch?
Sure, certainly.
Thank you. And then once he leaves for the watch, then I'll approach Arena because I don't know if he's gonna approve of me trying to be like, learn magic. So I'm trying to like.
Sounds like that would help his sister.
Yeah, but maybe he'll be weird about it. So Sasha would just rather he leave so I can teach his sister to tap into the Eldritch Arts and sell her soul to demons. 'Cause
Ismark?
I lied. She's actually going to be a hexblade.
I see.
Not sorry.
You settle in. Ismark takes first watch. You approach your new charge, potentially.
Have you thought that you were about to learn warfare?
I have. I suppose anything that could be done to help against the devil, Strahd, would be worthwhile. Though I've never done anything like this before, so I can't say how good I will be at it.
That's fine. We'll start simple.
Sorry.
I will start. I assume the same way I learned, which was learning Draconic, because it's the language of magic, so you have to learn it first.
What's the first thing you learned was opening a book and learning I should not have opened up that book?
Not from my master. That was something else entirely.
There's some independent study that happened.
Well, sorry, technically the first thing I learned was magic braille, but whatever.
Probably.
But she has eyes that work, so I will teach her Draconic.
Does that mean that your spellbook looks different from others? Like, she wouldn't know.
No. I use Siguror, but I assume when I was first learning the letters and stuff, because I didn't have a familiar at that point, he taught me with the sort of because there's actually a really old version of Braille. It's been around for a while, and I assume he taught me like basic magic, and then once I learned enough to cast Find Familiar, probably from a scroll, he taught me it through eyesight with Siguror.
Nah, makes sense.
But before I learned to use a scroll, he would have had to teach me through spell braille. But no, my spellbook is a normal spellbook.
You start trying to teach her Draconic. How exactly do you go about this?
Teaching. Teaching a skill.
One more menu game. You know.
I mean, how do you teach anyone the alphabet? You start with letters, right? And before going to words, and the same way my mom taught me how to read, I guess. She would.
So you have some spare paper and like an ink.
I actually do have a bunch of. I have a spare blank book that I was going to use. No, remember there were those 4 blank books? I was going to use those as spare spell books, but perfect. I'll take one of those. I'll bring them out. I'll bring out. I have a bunch of bonus ink from my starting kit. I also have some parchments, so maybe before giving her the book, I'll take one of my 10 parchments and show her letters and start basically however my master taught me Draconic at first. I've never learned a new language, but I assume Sasha knows how to teach someone a new language.
Well, we're gonna find that out.
So do you want me to make an intelligence check? Or?
No. You take out the parchment.
Just please don't ask me to make a charisma check.
And you do your best to... You advise her on, like, the first few letters in the Draconic alphabet.
I guess it'd be symbols.
And she is notably awkward doing this. Not for lack of coordination, like you don't get, like, that's the gist, but this thing is definitely a little intimidating to her because they are more symbol-like than just the normal letters. It's with ink, it's with a quill, it's a forbidden art done by only the smartest, the craziest, and sometimes the most evil. It's definitely a thing.
Or if you're just a dragonborn, that's your default language.
Well, she's not dragonborn, is she?
No, but I mean, it's just a language for some
Okay,
people.
well, you know, I'm thinking Sasha probably when he first started learning magic, probably kind of the same way. Magic is weird to the Vishtani. Specifically, only the seers have it, and men aren't really supposed to learn it. And I would like to think that his master both told him that it's something he needed to learn, but when he got frustrated, because you know kids get frustrated really easily, he probably tried to calm him down with showing him that magic isn't like as scary or dangerous. So can I use prestidigitation to just like try to So yeah, I'm gonna sense that she's having a hard go of it, and maybe a little intimidated by it, and I'm going to prestidigitation can be used to make like small lights and like small illusory or like a you can make a sound like a music box. And so first I'm gonna make a music box. I'm gonna open it. It's gonna play sound, and then it's gonna shoot out like lights that fly around. And then I'm going to turn it into a rose, and then I'm going to drop it. It's going to turn into lights again and fly around, and I'll be like, it's not such a scary thing.
I'm going to need a charisma
From you. I really wish you did this for that.
I mean,
I add nothing to charisma.
There's no roll required for prestidigitation. However, how you present it is a little different.
Like a showman.
If he's trying to
Don't
teach or something,
screw me over.
Does the
You do have to
mysterious
like the
sorcerer manifest these items from thin
Ooh,
air?
yes!
Hell,
19! Thanks, Black D20.
Well, it's the way he's going about it. His teaching style, you would say.
I'm trying to calm her down. So I
You
guess that's
manage
the
to find your gestures more in showmanship than in your usual flair. The rose is less of a thrust and more of a presentation. The music box, like you find a way to where like you're manifesting it, but you're also turning, so it looks like it comes out of nowhere slower than it might have normally.
Okay.
You don't move through it as efficiently as you would normally, which inadvertently comes off as a little less threatening than it potentially could have.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it wouldn't be so different, or it wouldn't be as necessary if you were dealing with maybe a normal person, or even person outside of this land,
Right.
where more often than not, you know. Cool. Overall, just very good, and she's noticeably calmed, though obviously her quill work still needs refinement.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's still progress. Can't be scared of the magic. Also, finally found a use for prestidigitation. That's why I was like, hey!
Get an initiative of the dark arts now. Huh?
First off, it's not dark arts. Magic is just magic.
I know. Yeah. I'm joking around.
Just because some people are assholes.
Yeah.
The rest of the night
Although a good counter argument is you never see
Goes-
cleric liches, and I'd be like, well, you know what? Fuck you guys.
fairly
Because that is a good counter.
just out of curiosity, Ismark willingly took the first watch. Who takes the others?
I don't care what role I take or what shift I take, but I'm going to climb a tree so that I'm not immediately visible on my watch. And also, if we do light a fire, I'm going to dig a hole into the ground so the fire isn't as visible, and I'm going to keep the fire as low
that's
as
a good
possible.
idea.
Make a pit.
Yeah, make a
Yeah.
fire pit.
I'll take the next watch, you guys.
You know, that makes sense why people do that like camping. This is probably harder for like predators to see.
Mm-hmm. Third or fourth?
I don't know about that. I guess Croc's fourth.
No, I said second.
Yeah, second,
Croc's the second.
third, fourth.
Okay.
Alright. I was just curious. The night is as full of sound as it was last time. Nevertheless, rest is had. The only real disturbance is on the last watch of the night, where for maybe an hour or so, you feel as if someone is watching you.
Subtly see if I can like pick it out without giving out too much away. Just sitting there fucking
You,
whittling.
you are still
Is that your Bible book?
saved for the whittling. You attempt to pick it out. Could I get a perception roll from you?
I have perception.
For lack of a better choice.
20.
It's very, very, very subtle, but once you notice It's almost shocking how obvious it is, and yet how well it blended in. About 20 feet from you, in a patch of moonlight, almost specifically placed, at least that's how it feels like, there is a tall, dark figure with skin as pale as the moon that it stands in.
Creepy.
Like humanoid?
Yes.
Yeah.
But tall.
Was it roughly?
Like as tall as me? Or
At least. It's kind of hard to tell, but as tall as you, maybe a little taller.
tempted to try and bait it closer. I guess try and turn myself so I look like an easy target for trying to go after if that is what he wants or what it wants.
Okay.
Make yourself look open.
You attempt to make yourself look open.
Do you want to roll for it?
No.
Okay.
Whatever the figure is, it is either not interested or does not take or sees through your opening. And after about an hour's time, you realize that like you've turned your gaze ever so slightly like out of the area and try to find it again, but it is gone.
Creepy.
Either a scout watching for somebody else or something of its own.
The morning comes with its muted sun rays, and with it, hopefully, safety. The way to Vallaki is, at least for the moment, clear, and Ismark is more than eager to gather your things and set forward.
While things are being gathered, would I be able to go to where I think I saw that thing?
Yeah.
See if I can find
Pretty easily.
something.
It's just down the road.
Alright. See if I can find something there with survival or perception, whichever.
Sure. I will. I'll take perception actually.
So if I can find something like it walking off in a certain direction, then I might be able to find something. 15?
You see nothing at the space. And the rest of your comrades just see you inspecting an empty patch of road. But you do notice, ever so slightly off the road, a fallen branch. It's very small.
Fallen or broken off?
Broken off. Make of that what you will.
I will. The trees are after us.
They're killing their young! Killing their own young.
Must be another shaman now.
Cannibalizing themselves.
Or the same shambling.
He followed us all.
Oh my god.
It developed hatred for the group.
They escaped. But when they least expected. It's gonna wait for like someone to get into a bath and then it just fucking drops down from the ceiling.
That would be.
What a bummer.
You gotta be intelligent for a planet.
It would be very intelligent for a plant. The group is able to move. Move it does. The old Slavic road that you travel down meanders deeper into the valley, watched by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are half a dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them.
Alright, does it look like there's a scouter guard above the wall looking at the road or anything?
Yes, there are quite a few that are milling about, which you can easily see. Ismark, as you approach, motions to the wolves' heads and goes, "See? I knew it. This town is well protected. Certainly it's a sign."
I think you're getting your hopes up too much. It's still just a town.
We will see. When you get within 10 feet of the gate, you are called to from up top by a man in armor who shouts, "Stop where you are!" He surveys the group. He seems to notice your two escorts, or rather, the other way around, and then looks at all of you and seems a little confused before making up his mind about something. And says, "You!" And he points to your Vistani comrade. "We not welcome servants of the devil in here. If the rest of you travel with him, you'll have to leave."
I have no idea how that one got through.
I will repel you by force if need be. Ismark looks and says, I assure you, I understand their people's reputation, but he's a traveler who's helped us this far. They all have. They are ones, they're very strong, and they too seek the devil's end. The guard shakes his head. "I don't believe it. And I have my orders. You look to be a Barovian yourself."
Really wish I had taken charm person.
Double checking. What was the name of the town where
France.
he was from? Sorry, it is escaping my mind.
Ismark is from Barovia. I always get a little mixed up because the land is Barovia, and I think the town is also called Barovia.
Is it? Huh.
It is until
Okay.
someone in the comments says it isn't.
And his title, technically, since his father died, was
Burglar.
Yeah.
Burgomaster. All right. Okay. These two are the children of the Burgomaster of the town of Barovia, who has unfortunately recently passed. We're here escorting them to a safer place.
Another guard, this one a woman, comes up. They both look at one another. Out of character, could I get a persuasion check? However, I will give advantage upon it because you are legitimately with some people who should make a difference.
It's better than nothing. But I could try to scare our way to town, because that's a good idea.
Open the door before I knock you down.
Oh, hey! I mean, if persuasion doesn't work...
If persuasion doesn't work, like Greila did, she actually has it trained.
Yeah.
Speak
And
up!
has a charisma bonus.
Speak up!
You
11.
chose to talk. I'm not going to stop you from role-playing your character.
Nice excuse, lazy fuck.
Fuck you.
The guard that you're currently talking to says, "It is unfortunate to hear that other towns have suffered, but it is not news. We all do our best against the darkness, and all will be well, of course.
Like that.
But the The Vistani have made enemies of us. We have made enemies of the Vistani. We simply cannot trust you.
I'll speak up and say, won't you reconsider? You can't judge a person based. You can't judge this individual based on what a group has done. He's not been in this land for quite some time.
In fact, kind of seems against what they're doing.
You can go ahead and give it a shot as well.
Because it's true.
Okay. I'll also add on that
I'm also going to give this one a minute.
Okay.
In fact, I'll go ahead and say that each of you will get one opportunity to convince them, and those opportunities will have advantage. Might be a little generous, but whatever. They will have
Burn
advantage.
this town to the ground like I did Death House.
That would be the last shot.
24. I was also gonna add that Strahd's taken a particular interest in this woman and her brother here, and they especially need admittance into the city.
Okay. Why would you mention that?
They need to know. Also, I'm a good person. Why would I be like, hey, protect these two? And they're like, where are we protecting from? Oh, the fucking devil, essentially. I don't
The
know.
woman looks upon you and says,
Oh.
your vestments. Are you a holy woman, perhaps?
I am.
And a special interest. Is that true? And Ismark nods after looking at his sister. And she says, it is. We've come a very long way in hopes of safety. They exchange looks again, and the woman nods, and the man says, perhaps there are rumors that not all Vistani serve Strahd. Some merely cower in his shadow. I will make an exception, but only on the promise that you declare yourselves to the burgomaster directly.
Okay.
But know that should he decide to repel you, you'll be repelled with all of us.
It's too late once you let us in the door.
Why would you be thrown out if we're thrown out? That's really weird.
It's too late once you let us in the door. I was just joking.
The gates are begrudgingly opened, and you are allowed inside.
Does he stay up on the wall as we enter?
He stays up on the wall, but when the gates open, there are other guards inside. Some of whom have obviously stopped their patrol to watch you enter.
Alright,
Well, it's obvious for a town.
Any of them look at me like that guy did, I'm just gonna look right back and just give him the evil eye.
They
Isn't that what
do.
Isn't that what the other
He's
Vistani were doing?
he's trying to
Fuck
stare
these
at one,
guys.
but he's looking in the wrong place. He can't see him.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
how would
joking.
you know?
Because Sakar can point me in the right direction.
He's trying to
So-
stare one of them down, but he's in the wrong place. And
Why are
his
you
head
staring at
towards
the door frame? What did the door frame ever do to you?
Sasha makes sure
I'm
to
sorry.
give the glare back.
Both of you
And
guys.
while it may look a little weird, it's reasonable because there are people on both sides.
Well, I'm wearing glasses. So they
There are
can't
people on
actually
both
see
sides,
my
David?
eyes.
Yeah.
Really?
We have no idea.
Well, you don't.
Both
because
sides of me.
I know. I'm
They're
just
on
fucking
both
with
sides of you, and Sasha does return looks from one concentration that by coincidence happens to be a little bigger than the other, so maybe he just chose. I don't know.
No,
Maybe not. I don't know. The thread continues.
I was just joking because you said both sides. I was like, that dumb shit that Trump said.
Didn't know you were a mom. Eyes in the back of your head.
And once you are completely in the gate, there is another human guard nearest that points and says, the burgomaster's house is that way to the left and then down a side street. We also have guards on patrol throughout the city.
Can't one of you just guide us there? Because down a side street is not very specific.
That's an odd location for a burgomaster's house.
Yes. Perhaps it would be best if I did.
I assume that look at me was in character.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll just stare
Ivan,
back.
Garrett.
Fuck you very much, then.
Where's Isaac?
2 other men come.
Is Mia coming?
Garrett.
Oh, that's
Doesn't seem
disappointing.
to be that way. Ivan, Garrett.
Oh, Ivan Garrett. Well, man. I'm saying.
What a mess.
Ivan stays on task. Garrett does spare like an acknowledgement nod. A nod of acknowledgement.
These
I tell him my name and stuff, so he knows it.
These motherfuckers are more trusting of a random minotaur and a fucking bird person than a member of their own species. I'm not trying to be racist, I'm just saying.
They're
Orcs are
not Vishani.
Vishani or
Vistani are human.
You are marched through town. You see a number of small homes, in addition to some larger buildings, what might be a church. You see something that's definitely an inn, if only because it has a sign that reads Blue Water Inn. This is a dead giveaway right there.
Maybe they have more than wine.
I doubt
You said you doubt it.
You are led to a fairly nice looking manor towards the outskirts of town. And when you get there, one of the guards takes the lead and knocks on the door. The door opens, and presumably a servant of some kind, because they're wearing clothing that is nice but humble, opens the door and asks, "What is the business, sir?" And the guard says, "There are travelers. A couple of them claim to be seeking refuge from the Devil's Strahd. But there's also a Vistani with them that their companions insisted to come with them." And the servant looks. And then the voices go lower, but you can still hear them. Well, then why would you let him in? Look, you don't understand. There are rumors, and to be honest, I think that Mia actually has taken the rumors about what happened to the camp nearby a little more seriously. You mean the rumor that they are without leadership? Yes. But the hunter said that just only makes them more dangerous. Yes, I understand.
Are they talking about Vishani?
Yes, we're talking about a camp nearby. But I believe that she did not take that fully to heart. And, well, you know. There are some Vistani that don't directly serve Strahd. No, there aren't. Yes.
You know that I can hear you. Right?
They both turn. His ears are everywhere.
Oh my god! Is the Baron
They actually fucking said that?
in?
Did they say that?
Yes.
Because Greila will be like, my lord, like how stupid.
There's a moment of disbelief and incredulity before the guard asks, "Is the Baron in?" And the servant man maybe pushes the door a little closer to him and says, "No, he is not. He's currently down in the town square making preparations for the festival of the Blazing Sun. For with it all will be well." The guard nods. All will be well. Wasn't the festival of the wolves just a brief while ago? It can never be too early or too late to drive away the misery and spirits of evil, especially in these times.
Did he look at me as he said that?
Yes, but he's also kind of hugging the door now.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So he's fearful, but it's still in there.
Urge. Fireball.
Then we will find him at the town square. Thank you.
You're just
Burn
gonna
this
drag us
fucking
to the
city
town
down.
square where there'll be even more people gawking at
Would I be able
us.
to roll fucking insight to see if they're bullshitting and just trying to give us like the fucking runaround, basically?
Yeah, I suppose you could.
Is it-
I got it.
I know about Vallaki, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I know that they're like a big festival town. I know that that's one of their things, right?
You think you might have heard somebody say something like that?
7?
I also probably would have known that they wouldn't have accepted me before I got here, but
Oops!
The fact that they can all recognize you immediately is fucking like
You can choose your own reason why you, behind the scenes, were fine. Maybe it slipped your mind. Maybe you thought, well, what else can we do?
Yeah.
Maybe you thought,
I want
That's
to
fine.
maybe you thought you could just drop them off potentially, only for this to happen. The
Right.
cutscene won't start if I'm out here, right? Nope. Still okay.
well, I was if all of our checks failed, I was just gonna walk away, cast invisibility, and go and do some other way.
Sneaky.
So that was my plan. I was gonna be like,
Huh.
fine, they will enter without me, and be like, invisibility. But whatever. Greila got me in, so thanks for that. It's all I do. I kind of wish I was invisible at this point.
If
yeah, I'm
there's-
sorry, I didn't know they would be
If
like
there's a reason why they would give you the runaround, you can't think of it.
He
You
has
are
to-
marched.
I had
Well, I was
insight, so I
saying-
rolled it.
Yeah, I understand. He's stuck with us until he finds the fucking person, though, so he can't do whatever he wants as long as we're still here.
You are marched down to what appears to be the town square. There are some decorations, some like red and yellow streamers that are hung here and there, though some of them look a little worn. Definitely not fresh. There are people milling about, but in the center, most prominently, are a man and a woman dressed in very, very nice, like red and like gold detailed clothing. The man is maybe like has a receding hairline. He's got like some graying hair, and he's flanked by 2 large hounds. The woman is maybe a head taller than him, and just kind of is hanging out noticeably like close to him, and is in the middle of like laughing at something he has said. When you arrive, the man turns and says, "Ah, good day to you, and all shall be well." And the guard says, "And all will be well." And then he looks, "Travelers."
These people are culty as shit.
There's-
I don't
Small
say that
town-
in character.
Well,
but
small
Jesus.
town cul-de-sac.
All will be well.
mentality,
The
maybe.
wall will protect us all. Like,
What other help do they have?
he looks at me and hums.
Yes, like he
Oh,
says, "Travelers." Then they falls on you. And
When he hums, I will also.
Tell me, you've brought me travelers. I assume there's a reason for this. What is this reason? Baron, sir, I have brought them here because when they came to our gates, one among them, a holy woman, told us that they were seeking refuge for some natives that Strahd has taken interest in. Ah, I see. A wise choice. A wise choice indeed. Tell me, why have you brought one of Strahd's servants to me as well, but not in chains? The man says, the holy woman was insistent that he was one of them, and proclaimed that he was not a servant of Strahd, and we came to the agreement to have you decide that, whether it is the case or whether it is not. The man strokes his chin. For me to decide. Well, then decide I shall. He jauntily strides up to Sasha, gets a little close for Sasha's comfort, and like looks him in the eye, like squints a little bit.
How close is he? Because I have glasses,
Close enough.
but if he can see through them, my eyes are white.
He's close enough that glasses like start to move, and that's your cue to like back up a little bit. Because you only kind of know, and then like this little bit of a jerk, and you're like, oh, he's really close.
But I'm saying if he gets right up in my face,
Well,
he
no,
can
he's
probably
blind.
tell I'm blind because my eyes, I don't have pupils. They're completely
Cataracts.
white. Yeah.
Well, since you're extending like back at the same time that he's pushing, I will give him a roll
Okay.
to potentially see. You back off, maybe for a moment. You're like, if he saw, like, maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. And he goes, Well, tell me, my boy.
Baron. Baron.
Tell me, my boy. Do you believe your master to be all-powerful?
You're assuming a lot that he has a master at all.
Am I? Tell me. If you do not have a master, then who do you serve?
Hold on, I'm thinking.
I do have something.
Well, too bad. The ball's in his court.
Alright.
You can feel that
I said
perhaps more than you-
arson. It says, I said arson of the black staff.
Oh, your master.
Arson of the Black Staff. Very different from Arson of the White Staff. His wife blurts out laughter maybe a little bit before he's finished. He goes, hey.
I will grip my staff real hard, but not do anything else.
I am not familiar with such a person, but his name is not that of Strahd. Tell me, he's not one of Strahd's other servants, is he? I'll know if you lie.
He is not from here.
From far.
Yes.
You've left. Though that is the gift of your people, among other privileges. Tell me, why have you come here?
And to escort this woman. Her brother believes that she will be safe here. I'm also looking for a man.
Tell me, he seems to write off that last part. You've escorted them here. Do you believe they will be safe here? At this one, the guard actually, looks at you, as does his wife, who has been looking mostly at him, and you feel a number of other eyes turn towards you as well. It becomes very quiet.
All will be well.
You just blurted that out.
The Baron waits very expectantly for your answer. There's a look on his face that believes that you are undoubtedly going to give him an answer that he expects.
Yeah, but if I tell him yes, I'm going to have to roll deception, and I don't add anything to it.
I could try and pull attention with the trait of being a far traveler.
Or just worth the ask.
Strategic ass ripping.
No,
Does the fart not speak for itself? It does. You're free to go.
I will say, is this not the safest place in Barovia? And if you need me to roll deception on that, I will.
Well, I mean,
Isn't it?
that's
though?
all they've talked about. It's all that's been said.
Okay. I technically want deception, but I also like it, so I'm willing to give you advantage.
Alright, cool.
Because while it is a question dodge and that is deceptive, at the same time, you also are.
It's believable.
That's very silly.
Look what.
well,
look.
Well, I mean,
Fuck me, are you serious? anyways,
Well, which do you want?
Yeah, good question. Wait, why are you?
because I'm on a lucky 12. I don't add anything. That's also my last lucky, but
Well, we did a long rest.
actually that's true. So that's
Yeah,
my
we
first
did
lucky.
long
No,
rest.
you're right. That's my
He
first lucky of the day, but I still can't
Pauses
spend
for a moment.
You could also reroll your importance.
Everyone.
Oh, he's actually right. Can I sorry. I'm sorry. Can I roll my importance? Because I might have used that instead of a lucky.
Yeah.
Never mind. I got a 12.
On his check
Yeah,
to
on
see
his
if
inside
the lie.
check, he gets a 3.
Oh, is he gonna make an inside check against me? Because if so, I can portend his
Isn't
inside
deception-
check to a 3.
Isn't deception an opposed skill?
How much does he want to believe what you're saying?
Or how much is he?
The answer, as you will find out in other episodes,
Is a
is
lot.
a lot. As he
Yeah.
wheels around and says, "It is!" And there are some, and behind you, all the people that kind of stopped and assembled, you notice, are this big, broad painting of emotions. There are some that, like, exhale as if they were nervous. There are some that are excited at this news.
Oh my
There are
God.
others that are kind of in between. As is like, the devil's servants themselves turn against him at the wide breadth of protection that Vallaki
Sasha
grants
is
it.
gripping his staff so hard that his knuckles are like fucking bone white. But he's not gonna do anything. But he's just like so fucking mad.
Hand on shoulders.
I will pull my shoulder away and exhale.
The sound of wood straining under fleshy grip is utterly drowned out by his proclamation that it is excellent news, just in time for the festival of the blazing sun. And together we shall banish all misery and strife from this land and lift its curse once and for all, as all shall be well. And then there are a number of people in some lower, some higher pitch. They return it. However, some return it lower than others.
I don't know. Greila shares his sentiment and that we are surrounded by idiots.
He then claps his hands and says, "I do believe, my good boy, that there's nothing to fear from this.
Oh, he's talking to his guard.
Oh, okay.
There's
He
nothing
calls
to fear
everybody.
from this one. As I have said, so that it is. In fact, you shall be our guest of honor at this festival of the blazing sun. Who better to help us rein in the end of the misery that holds on this land than those who are often blamed for it?"
Actually, Baron, right? Not Burgomaster?
Yes.
Right. Oh, okay.
He was called Baron.
Okay. I'm gonna try
Not only do I hate this guy,
and play
I now
on-
kind of hate his Markland just through association.
I'm gonna try
I'll look at
and
him
do and play to my feature.
with some
All
sympathy.
eyes on you, as Far Traveler, which due to being Far Traveler, being just
A
odd
minotaur.
mannerisms, talk, basically and all that stuff, it can either be good for us or bad for us because it draws a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I want to try and parlay this to either try and get more information
Alright.
and basically just get into things that the rest of us maybe not be able to. I have never heard of this festival of the sun, you say?
There are some odd accents in your speech that catch his attention as he wheels around and says, "Oh, hey, oh," and it's almost as if he's seeing you for the first time. He says, "Oh,
It's almost as if he's
You're quite big.
giant.
yes, the festival of the blazing sun. With it, we shall perish the misery and misery that hangs over this cursed land. Tell me, do you know of the fabled legend? No matter. I shall tell you. You see."
I was actually about to ask if you have some time, we can step to the side and talk some more.
Oh,
And
yes,
talk-
definitely. And the guard says, but sir, there are also the travelers that are of interest to Strahd, so the holy woman claims, but they are already here. It is as good as done. It is safe. Lest you
You got
doubt the safety of the town, and he says, Not for a second, sir. Yes, all will be well. Now,
You guys go.
if I could,
drawing
and he
attention.
eagerly embraces you.
Kills.
He
Jesus
eagerly embraces
Christ.
you as his wife also comes along, and the dogs like start trotting on either side. Says, "Well, now as you see, the legends have it. Well, the legends don't necessarily have it, but I know it from the bottom of my heart." And
Draws him away from everybody.
he starts walking
Okay.
off.
Yeah, as
The
soon as he
guard
turns, as soon
turns.
as people stop, like looking at me, well, I assume there are probably still people looking at me
The
regardless.
guard turns and nods and says,
Fucking hell.
It seems that you have been approved by the Baron, and I would suggest that you stay for the festival. There's an inn, the Blue Water Inn. We passed it on the way to the manor. If you're looking for lodging, I would start there. The other two guards that were like part of your escort, but not like the main talker, like pair back up, and they leave.
Well, I assume
I'm
he
gonna
wants
turn
to get out of the
around.
public eye.
Fuck these people.
So let's go to the end. You can talk with
now I'm trying to
Dick
get
Shit
information
Magoo.
of what the fuck is going on.
Alright.
And we'll be
People
switching
are-
back between you as he tells you about
Okay.
the belief that he has from the bottom of his heart.
Okay.
You still get plenty of stares on your way to the inn, but nobody accosts you or stops you or anything like that. As you are able to find, once again, the building that you seek. Gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens are perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall.
Well, I'm going. No point sitting out here and getting cocked at some more.
I did not
Makes
believe
sense.
you were the one who has to worry about that.
I know. I am sorry. I feel some sympathy for your situation.
I was aware of the Vistoni's reputation, but I did not know it was as bad as it is here. Otherwise, I would have done something in advance.
You might want to.
I do not believe there is anything we could have done.
If you should wish to go sooner rather than later, we will understand.
You said so yourself. It's better to spend the night behind the walls than out on the road.
We still must find the man with the monkey. He might be here.
That is true.
So real quick, are we gonna have separate rooms or are we gonna share rooms? Because technically you don't have to be
It
there.
hasn't been decided yet.
We haven't even talked to the innkeeper. We're just outside.
You
I'm saying
Walk
if
in.
you're invisible and we can get the rooms.
Oh, I'm not gonna spend a spell slot just to not have people stare at me. Also, I don't want to cast a spell and have everyone be like, ah!
You know, that's pretty fair.
So I'm just gonna hold off on magic for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm saying though.
We should try to find your
around
disguise
the
self.
You walk
if you
in.
feel.
The inside is rather smoky. There are people that spare you looks, but like a little bit less long than outside. Maybe it's just because of the atmosphere, maybe not. There's a very obvious bar, and you are, in fact, beckoned over very casually by a man, bald. He has like a black beard. It's fairly well kept. As he says, "Ah, travelers! I had heard that Vallaki had been graced by others from afar. Come. Likely you will be seeking rooms."
That was a good thing you didn't waste it.
You all like step together?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah.
Whatever you need, feel free to ask. This place is something of a sanctuary from the ills of the outside, both afar and near. You catch my meaning.
You didn't want to taste your food and stuff.
I will say, yes, we will take 3 rooms. And perhaps my fellows would like a drink, but I'm looking for information. Not a character. How exactly was it that the monkey described to me? It was... He had a descriptor. A jauntily dressed man and a monkey. Something like that.
He did. And I will find that in an attempt to be exact.
Okay.
Well, shouldn't Greila be the one investigating since charisma score?
Well, she's the one looking
Might
for the
be a
monkey man.
charisma check.
Yeah.
The description that you were given, you were advised to look for an entertaining man with a monkey. This man is more than he seems.
And it might be a bit of a queer request, but in this town, do you know of anyone who could be described as an entertaining man with a monkey?
Well, entertaining, yes, but monkey, no. We have a bard here. No instruments, but he regales us with all kinds of outlandish stories. He is quite entertaining, though he is by himself.
Maybe he's the monkey.
Well, he might know who the guy with the monkey is.
Being a bard, travels from everywhere. Lots of tales.
That being said, I believe that there is someone in town who owns a monkey. Yes. Oh, but I'm having difficulty remembering. If you give me a moment, it will come to me. In the meantime, rooms are 1 electrum piece a night, and I can set you up with food and drink as well.
Is that less than gold?
What's an electrum?
It's an in between. So
I think it is. I was a little confused when I saw 2.
Is it in between gold and silver, or silver and copper?
I thought it was between silver and copper. I'd have to look it up.
I believe it's more valuable than silver.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Hopefully it's not between gold and platinum.
I
That
doubt
would
it.
suck.
I know it's
Electrum is
definitely
in
not.
between silver and gold.
Okay.
Okay.
How much is it?
Well, it's the equivalent of 50 copper, and a silver is 10 copper, so it's
5 silver?
5 silver per electrum.
So 5 silver a night? Okay.
Alright, it's a weird ass measurement.
I'll throw down... I asked for 3 rooms because I figured you and Irina can take one. The monster people can take one. And... What?
I'm not there. I'm just.
Well, I'm not saying this in character.
Yeah.
It's just that's my logic, and then I'll take one with fucking Ismark.
Alright.
Both dudes.
And if you should want food and drink, we can supply that as well. We have a very fine wine selection, though it has grown a little scarce lately.
Do you have white wine?
I'm afraid not. But
We might.
perhaps I can sell you on some local wines.
Out of character, we might be able to reduce some of the cost on food if we supply some of it with the wolf
dire
meat.
wolf
Yeah, the dire wolf meat that we supply or got.
I assumed he was just going to cut that up into extra rations. However, I
There's
was going to...
6 fucking bears worth of meat.
Yeah, we're probably going to do a lot of traveling.
Well, you can do either way. But as he attempts to sell you on that wine, you are told, and from the bottom of my heart, I know it is true. If the spirits, you see, the spirits of the people, that is something. That is something that the Devil Strahd can never vanquish. The Devil Strahd is the terrible monster that rules over all of us. And if we can banish the fear, the misery, because tyrants create fear, and that's the only real power they have. Armies, long dynasties, no way. But the fear that he creates, if that can be extinguished, his curse will vanish.
Okay.
He's an evil creature that is all that ties him to this world.
I
This
feel
I
like
know.
This guy
I know.
is the
From
most
the bottom of
terrifying
my
of
heart,
all.
perhaps.
Somehow.
Most definitely.
I mean,
You feel things.
puts on a show.
You know that the feelings from the bottom of your heart are most true. Perhaps. Well, actually, you are from afar. Tell me about your land.
The land I come from is very far. Simply named the Cold Lands.
The Cold Lands. I've never heard of it. It certainly must be very far. And
Quite.
you've taken quite a time to come here. though a great time, for we are on the verge of, like I said, banishing the evil that hangs over this place. All will be well. Certainly you'll be able to see. You expressed some interest in our festival, did you? Did you perhaps? I know you did. Don't try to lie to me. I'll know.
Yes, I have. You say it is to follow a previous festival you've had called the Wolf, if I heard the guards correctly.
Ah, yes.
Speaking to your,
Yes, there was a festival not long ago where we made great display of slain evil wolves that prowl the forests, an assertion that they will not hold any sway over us, nor the evil of the master that they serve. It was quite successful, if I do say so myself. All enjoyed it.
the heads that they had piped out there, were they just regular wolves or were they great wolves or dire wolves?
Some were dire wolf, but there were definitely more normal wolves than dire wolves.
No werewolf.
Well, it'd be kind of hard for you to tell.
Yeah, fair.
At a glance. It was quite interesting. All enjoyed it. But tragically, well, not all. There are some that still dismally hang on to their misery, undermining our efforts to free ourselves from the curse of this land. But we dealt with them well enough. We may pass them in the meantime.
Townspeople?
You are not townspeople if you hold the rest of us back. We have stocks that we throw them in. Naturally, slaying someone, committing evil acts ourselves, that would do us no good, and certainly a greater curse would move in over the town. It's merely a method to improve mood for the next time. In fact, we are just about due to release some people should they have improved their attitudes and stopped their spiritual conspirating with the devil, Strahd.
That sounds
So-
lovely.
So you see it as anyone who is not happy is under the control of Strahd?
Anyone who undermines our efforts to free ourselves from this misery, anyone who would undercut the joy of the rest of the town, is a conspirator of Strahd, and I'll hear nothing else. You are big, but we are powerful. You do well to follow your friend's example and embrace the joy of this place.
If you talk back, you're gonna get us thrown out of here.
Phew. I'm not going to.
Discretion's a better part of valor.
I was going to.
Well, I would say it'd be
Throw
really
out
funny if he got us thrown
that-
out after I just got a bunch of racist bullshit to the face and was just like, yeah, I guess I'll deal.
Now you walk by the stocks. Hey guys.
I don't know what happened.
You gave me shit.
I don't even know how they got my boards in here.
It doesn't even make sense. They got
They have parts for horns specifically.
It's
Sorry.
very, very weird.
They had to do it to a Viking once, and they didn't want to take his helmet off.
Definitely.
What are
definitely.
Vikings did?
My-
Shut up.
My Vistani ally, though not having traveled long, I feel is quite trustworthy. Or should be trustworthy within your eyes due to us sharing same goals and are both worshippers of a similar following.
Yes, I know it to be true. All I needed to do was get a good look at him to tell that he would not only be trustworthy, but the perfect way of bringing in the celebration of the blazing sun. I absolutely knew it.
Why don't you tell me more about the celebration of the sun? More of what is it about the proceedings? Like,
What does it entail?
what does it entail?
Well, you see, it's very simple. Right now we're stockpiling a lot of wicker, and you see that's going to be used. Meanwhile, back at the inn, as part
They're gonna do a Wicker Man?
No, I'm thinking more Burning Man of, say, Sasha.
well, he said that Sasha was trustworthy. Oh,
Yeah.
well, he said Sasha was trustworthy. And we'll just
You kind of a
burn,
weird one.
maybe.
Yeah, no, it would. Sorry,
Well,
I'm actually jumping
Well,
to
if
worst
you
case
think this
scenario.
guy is unhinged and you can't trust him, then maybe. But he's fine, clearly. As the innkeep attempts to. He says he's going to sell you on the wine because you requested white, and he's bummed that he cannot offer you white. But instead of actually trying to sell, he does.
There's no white
in
Christmas
a hushed.
I'm gonna go to every fucking town and ask for white wine, and they're gonna be like, no. I'm calling it right now.
Such is quite.
Even though he says that he's going to try to sell you on it, he noticeably takes like the group aside and lowers his voice and says, "As I led on already, though I'm sharing because you seem a special sort. My wine supply is nearly gone. It's worse than I have let on. The next shipment is long overdue. You appear a capable sort, and
We've heard of this. Now, the town we went to before was also called Barovia?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. And I'll say, in Barovia, we have heard of this as well. There's something wrong with the vineyard?
That is my concern. I am currently occupied here. But if you would be willing, I would be not only grateful that you would check it out, but I would also be in the position to give you free room and board. Were you successful at seeing what the matter was and resolving the issue?
Well, free room and board is of interest to us. The situation can be dangerous. It might require war. People of our type have need of supplies. Gold buys supplies. Yes?
Yes. But gold also comes after a job is done.
That is fine. As long as we have an understanding.
We want free room and board as well as a reward.
If you will have no more gold once your shipment stops regardless. I am not attempting to be rude, but facts are facts, yes? Consider it an investment in your future prosperity.
Shit,
I
it really
need
sounds like
money.
That's fucking extortion.
I need money to add shit to my spellbook, man!
You are greedy, but that is a trend among adventurers. And I
At
am
least
Glad you
didn't
said
say-
adventures.
Yeah, I'm
No
glad he
position.
said adventures.
Well, no, he actually seems to be quite deliberately treating you all as a group. Unlike everything up
Okay,
until this
fair
point,
enough.
it's almost
Hey,
as
at
if
least I appreciate that.
it's almost as if he knows something about you that the rest of the people don't. I am
He's the man with the monkey.
desperate enough to accept.
And you said you know of a man with a monkey.
Yes, I do. He owns a toy shop around here. Goes by the name of Blinksy.
Linksy. And this bard you spoke of. What was his name?
That is Rictavio. He should still be here.
Where?
No, I haven't seen him lately. He's usually performing in one of the other rooms, I think, at this time. You may catch the one about the sparrows, if my watch is correct. My mental watch.
I'll also take... unless he is actually not offering us any wine, but if he's still offering some, I will take one.
Wine is still on the table, but he is...
How much for a glass? I'll take a couple copper, but...
They actually come in a few varieties. We have purple grape mash number 3 for a few copper, of character 3 copper. However, a silver piece can get you a pint of superior red dragon crush.
That's what the other place was out of.
It's the good stuff.
Let's do the Dragon Crush. I'll pop a silver now for that.
Very nice, very nice.
I need a drink. I had a character. I need a drink after. To quote the not late, he's still alive, but great Dave Chappelle, this racism is killing me inside.
He does inform you that the vineyard that I get my wine from is a few miles west of here. If you just follow the old Slavish road and the signs, you should come to it fairly easily.
Okay, so that's not back the way we came.
It is not.
But we need to find. Once he hands me a glass, I will nod to the others and I will say, I must meet with this Octavio in case he is the man we are looking for.
Do you want some company? I don't imagine I'll hurt with the way people have been looking at you lately.
It might be good, but someone should stay with Irina and Ismark. We are here, but you never know.
I understand.
Clark, do you mind?
Stay or go?
The barkeep says, depending on if you go or stay, might be a good idea because we also offer food, though it will take a little bit to prepare. We have, I know not what land you are from, but if you have ever wanted to try piping hot wolf steak, get a few orders, go do your business, come back.
But yeah, I'll take one and come back for it later because I might as well keep my rations. So.
That'll also be an electric piece.
I'm silver for a steak?
Must be a damn good steak.
Fuck this.
It is very dangerous.
What else?
The steak?
No.
No, the hunting of the wolves.
I was gonna say, what is this fucking fugu steak?
We have two trappers in particular that do a lot of that work. They can tell you themselves, or damn it, I forgot. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Then it's just a general declaration. They can tell you themselves how dangerous it is hunting them out in the woods. Though perhaps as travelers you already know.
I believe we do. We ran across them ourselves a few days back.
So I'll also plop down the 5 silver for this wolf steak. Better be the best. I'm not saying it in character, but it better be the best damn wolf steak I've ever tasted at these prices.
I'll also
Ridiculous.
Cool. Money is put down. An objective is set for those inside the inn.
Oh, actually, Irina and Ismark don't have any. They spent the last of their money on gear to get here, right? I remember that coming up in an earlier session.
That sounds correct.
Okay, then I'll throw down the gold so that they can have some food. So I'll throw down a gold and 5 silver.
That's all gone.
Aye. You are too kind.
Get some. Oh,
Maybe.
Crack goes down a gold, give me 2 wolf sticks. I am
Right
bad
away.
hungry.
There should be enough time to seek out Octavio before they're ready. And if not, we can most certainly find you.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to this Octavio.
Who's going with you? Crack?
Well, if Irina and Ismark aren't coming with me, then someone should stay back to watch them, which is what I was asking Crack if he was cool with doing earlier. If they wanted to come, if they wanted to stay with me, that's fine. I'm not going to tell them not to. I'm just going to assume that they don't
They
want to.
had planned on staying with you.
Oh, okay. Well, then whatever. We can all go.
It has to do with Strahd a little bit, so they're kind of interested.
All right. Well, then yeah, that's fine. If they're all cool with going, that's fine. Then we can all go, unless Crack specifically wants to stay back.
You can all go speak to this Octavio if you desire, and you, whether you like it or not, will hear about exactly what the
Thank
the
you so much
festival
for pulling
of
aggro
the
on
blazing
this.
sun
Yeah.
will
Psycho.
entail.
Hey, play it in the background, man. You can pull attention from nobles, fucking barons, and fucking other people with high standards.
And boy, will you pull
Oh god.
more next time than this time, because this is where we are going to stop. I hope that was at the very least entertaining, and at the very most, the best thing you've ever seen. But only at the very most. Trailing off, do you want to give final thoughts for Sasha?
Yes. So,
Do you get a name for the
I've had high points this session,
You can.
and I've clearly had low points this session. Obviously, Sasha is interested in training Irina in magic. He thinks that is the best chance she will have to defend herself from Strahd. Before, he was already pretty critical about whether this place would be able to help her, but now he is convinced that this place is a weird fucking happy cult. Literal, straight-up Earthbound reference.
Yeah.
Gygus is secretly controlling these people's minds. I have all sorts of conspiracy theories. In fact, I think he might try to sell out Irina and Ismark to Strahd as a kind of way of buying them off and keeping his town safe, but that's just me naturally going for my conspiracy
Worst
theory
case
nature.
scenario.
Regardless, however,
Guess the honor.
and all that, people just hating him for no reason, that stings. Even if you're expecting it, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, David, it sucks. Sasha's feeling pretty bad about that. But, very end, he has a job, so hey, chance of money, chance of adding more spells to his spellbook, and B, he has 2 possible leads on the ally that Madame Ava spoke of. So, it's been a roller coaster for him, I guess. Good then bad, then kind of good.
That tracks. What about?
Oh, additionally, you can find me on Twitter at Lights Camera Initiative, where I speak for everyone 100% of the time.
For now.
Word.
Greila also feels this town is too culty and that these people are willfully
Deluding.
ignorant. Yeah, they're
Definitely
self-deluding themselves because
They're straight up the happy cult from
Yeah.
Earthbound.
they just haven't painted everything blue.
Yeah, as soon as they paint everything blue, I'll be like, I knew it!
Well, almost. Not everybody is on completely the same.
Well, yeah,
Fair
but true, but
There's some
the-
cracks.
We need to Psy-Flash this place out of existence. I don't actually think we have Psy-Flash by that point, but
yeah.
besides the point.
Just fucking yeah, I don't know. They're too. It would drive me insane to be there in real life. Like,
Oh, yeah.
There's why just PK
I can
fire
imagine.
this place. Like
Hey.
he did the mansion.
What about some final
Rest does
thoughts
not
from
PK fire.
crack?
He doesn't smash Bros. But he doesn't get any of the elemental
We
attack.
got into a town where we came here now. Yeah, just looking for the next step to getting out of this fucking place.
Hey, at the very least, it's a step. And what about Siguror?
Looking forward to figuring out actual information that might be prudent, like
you're not gonna
the
find
the
this
stop
new
hating
guys.
people that don't agree with them. That's good information. Not looking forward to probably most of the other information I'm going to get out of them, but might be able to distract them with at least some tales from home to draw some attention away from him, or more attention from him but away from.
Just for the record, you're a
Bullshit.
giant cow person. If they weren't so racist, you would automatically have all the attention of everybody.
You
Well-
are big, and you are also a far traveler.
Yeah.
So keep on flexing that far travelerness. I think there's some fun stuff ahead, but obviously
Well,
there will be.
Who knows? I might be able to play this to the distracting them of putting on shows of strength. Of what does your guard look like? I'll test your guard.
Hey, that should be fun
Yeah.
for next time. But in the meantime, that's it for us. If everyone want to say goodbye, we'll see you later.
So,
Bye.
bye!